I'll leave you simple-minded people to it. Uh,
Oh, not nice.
Roll insight to see if he's being a dick.
Well, you know what? I just came out of my new
Nope, he's being
Sunday
sincere.
afternoon game. It's all Mongolians. I wish except they're half shark. Wow,
What?
you think I'm being entirely normal?
Hey, I'm picking up on anything.
Yeah, I think he's just being sincere. I must be that stupid now, I guess.
Too much time spent in the cave.
There we go.
Too much time spent with my new buddy, Rock Shack.
Oh yeah, you're getting fleas or something.
Yeah.
Or null brain rot.
That's terrifying.
No.
The secret is that they all have it. It's 100% takeover rate.
Okay. So the last thing we were doing, we got all the inscriptions done last time. But we discovered some new inscriptions and also got a magic item that you guys were able to keep.
I wonder it's a movable rod. Oh, sorry, wrong game.
No, an immovable rod, yeah.
I did do that at least once. Might do it more. Who knows?
So you guys did that. Everyone's maybe been thinking about the inscriptions, the engravings that we translated, thinking of how those fit together. But we also, we discovered 3 more new ones, so that's a possibility to work on. And what else? Oh yeah, the revelation about birthday was last time. Mm-hmm. Discovered some interesting things about birthday. Yeah, so okay, so it's the evening now, and do we already went through what we're doing for the evening activities, right? Did you guys? I think.
Yeah, I think that was the whole thing with birthday.
Yeah, that was birthday.
Right. Yeah, trying to figure out when exactly he was cursed and how you guys might go about figuring it out or helping him. And I assume you noted it down because I know a couple of you take some pretty detailed notes. You remember?
Found out birthday was cursed about 11 months ago. Henry seemed startled that we found out he was cursed, but I did not notice. Everyone else did. Ophelia went to talk to him, and he avoided the topic and went into his tent.
Ah, yes. And didn't he talk with Masson as well?
I
think he had
it
a talk.
was Henri.
Yeah, Henri had a talk with you. All right, so what did Ophelia do, and what did Morris do for the evening? Just sort of examine those goings on, or did you have something you were doing?
I don't think I was doing anything. Nothing planned. Eating and relaxing around the camp.
All right. Did Ophelia do anything besides that? I know you had those 2 books, but
yeah, probably tried to read, but then got distracted with the whole stuff with birth.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so the evening is starting to sort of wane on, and as that happens, the sun's going down, and it's getting close to the normal time you would do your watch. And you notice at some point, Terry, Harrietta, and Henri all sort of got into a sort of hushed conversation amongst themselves, and it seemed to be slowly animating over the past 10 minutes or so. Like maybe they're getting a little louder, or you started to see they're making some gestures. And eventually they seem to realize that this is becoming a little more noticeable, what they might be talking about. So they all retreat into Terry's tent. Those 3 go in there. Ralcoon and, of course, the dwarves are just doing their own thing as usual. They don't really seem to care about what's going on, just talking to themselves. Birthday is completely separate from them, and he's just sort of, standing by you guys after this sort of conversation. And when he notices they go into the tent, do one of you want to say something?
Probably when I first noticed that they were talking together and starting to get animated, I might have edged a little closer and tried to listen in.
Okay, yeah. So
not super obvious, just keeping an ear out.
Okay, so you can you can listen in, and you'll hear them going back and forth, and they're talking about the discovery of the new inscriptions. Like at first they were talking sort of excitedly about maybe some of the details about what they might find. But then they seem to start to get into a bit of an argument about some of the details about when they will be doing which inscription, and then later the conversation seems to turn a little bit, and right before it sort of gets off topic is when they go into the tent. So that's what they're talking about. And when Birthday notices that they've done this, he looks over his shoulder at you, or he looks over at the tent and looks at you, and he gets a sort of worried look on his face and just looks at the ground and sadly shakes his head, sort of like he's recognizing, like, oh, it's like something that maybe you guys haven't seen before, but something that he recognizes that's happened before. And he walks over to you guys a little closer and reaches for a pouch on the side of his belt, and he looks over his shoulder at the dwarves to see that they aren't watching, and he opens it up and sort of winks at you guys and hands you each a little pastry from inside that pouch. Although he stops at Ophelia and sort of gives an apologetic shrug and says, "Birthday," like you already got one. And he so he's like saying sorry. So he gives you, and he smiles and he says, "Birthday, birthday," and he gives you guys one of those little sweets, one of those little pastries, and he looks back at the tent and really makes sure that you take this pastry, because it's like, he says the way he's doing it, sort of like, I hear you, maybe you'll need this or something, because there's something not quite right, or maybe some difficulty or something.
I offer my thanks and begin nibbling on it.
Yes.
Birthday. So yeah,
did he give one to the entire group or just to those two?
I know he gave one to you as well. Of course, he made sure to give you one first, because he obviously feels a little more attached to you because you were the one that's helped discover that about him. But he's very friendly to everybody.
Okay. Looking over this pastry, is it just a pastry, or is it special in any sort of way?
It's a doughy pastry, but when you bite into it, it's got a little dot of like chocolate custard in the middle, and then some marzipan as well, like a little core of marzipan, and it's very, very sweet, and probably one of the best things you've eaten and since you've been out here, or probably even longer, since you've been having some money difficulties back in Hargrove.
Yes, it is very nice. And I turn to him and ask, "Did you make this?"
And he gets a very big smile, and he looks a little proud, and he says, "Birthday," and he nods happily.
You, sir, are a very good chef.
And he gives a little laugh, and he gives a little laugh and says, "Birthday." He's being, So with that, he sort of sits, and maybe you guys are eating for a while, and he sort of stands there a little awkwardly, and he's looking at you guys, looking at each of you, seeing that you're enjoying his little treat, and he looks over at Rockjack tied up over there, and sort of points over his shoulder after he turns back to you, and he says, "Just birthday." And it's like he thinks for a second, and then he looks down, and he sees that there's one other pastry left in his sack, and he just shakes his head and says, "Birthday, birthday."
I don't think the gnoll would appreciate what he would be getting.
No, I don't think he'd know to appreciate it either. So
no comment on that.
Yeah.
I'm probably still trying to listen in on the conversation in the tent while I'm nibbling on the pastry.
Yeah, actually, can I go up and listen to the tent?
Okay, so yeah, after you've eaten for a little bit, you can sort of try and sneak up to the tent.
I didn't have anything to eat anyway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you could go over right away and see if you can hear.
Do you want a second roll out of me, or?
No, you don't need to roll again. Ophelia, you can make a stealth check to see if you can sneak up to the tent and listen. Oh, very good. Oh yeah, you have super high dex. So you sneak up to the tent, and because you can get right up next to the tent, you don't really need to perceive. So you'll hear them talking pretty clear. It's a little muffled, of course, because it's through the tent. You hear Terry and Henri going back and forth, a little bit angrily at each other. And Terry says something about reputation, and Henri says something about getting this done quicker. And Henrietta just seems to be constantly interjecting, trying to get them to stop talking about this, or to sort of break up this conversation. It's getting really heated. And after a minute of that, they just sort of keep going back and forth. The gist that you get out of it is that Terry and Henri are both very anxious about getting this done as quick as possible, and they're worried about the potential of something going wrong, even for somehow even more so now. Obviously, with this whole time, there's been concerns like, something bad could happen while we're out here. We're trying to make enough progress before the month is up and our budget is out, but now it seems like something spurred them on to be more anxious.
So,
and then,
kind of like they were expecting to be done with the first ones, and now that
perhaps
there's more, there might be a problem.
They don't say that's exactly, but that could be a possibility. But it's like something has definitely spurred them on, like they're getting very frustrated, or they're feeling very frustrated with progress.
Okay.
So at that point, all three of them sort of storm out. Henri and Terry pretty angrily, and Henrietta just again sort of meekly following behind them, dissatisfied with her efforts to break up that heated conversation. And at that point, it's late, so they'll all sort of retire wordlessly to their tents, and it'd be about time for you guys to do watch then. So you guys can do the whole thing, and you guys can let's see. Yeah, we'll just do watch like normal. I was thinking maybe it'd be faster if you guys all rolled your perception at once, but there's actually a reason I don't want to do that. So,
dun, dun, dun.
Since I am first.
Yep. So you'll be first, and everyone else will be in their tents, sort of. Well, we know where you guys are. You don't need to necessarily move, but yeah, it makes it look a little nicer when everything's all laid out nice. But in any case, so you're sitting there for your watch, and Rockjack doesn't seem to have gone to sleep tonight. He just is looking at you like he's done maybe once or twice before. And he's he looks at you, and he just seems to be staring at you curiously. His ear flicks, and he cocks his head a little bit, and eventually he does that shaking motion of his head to sort of beckon you over.
All right, I will use my last spell for the day and cast Comprehend Knowledge or Language, and go over to talk to him. Okay. It's a lot easier then for you.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. It'd be a lot easier as long as you have that spell up. So he says to you, "When will Rockjack go home? I become tired of working here. When will I go home?"
You'll go home when the job is done.
When?
Within 20 days or so? I'm not sure.
He looks really put off by that. Like he was not expecting you to say 20 days. And he sort of bares his teeth and says, "That is a very long time. You know how long that is to be away from home."
Yes, I understand that it's a long time to be away from home, but think about all the new things you're learning, all the things that you can take to your people.
And he just gives a snort like of derision, like he doesn't really think that anything he's done here is been worth his time, except for maybe he does bring up this subject, and he says, "At least I've been fed well. Speaking of that, Do you have any extra food for Rockjack?
Yes, I do. I don't remember if you dug well or
good.
whatnot today, but you being hungry is not good, so I will give you some food.
It is the least I deserve for being a prisoner. If I must stay here, I expect to be fed well.
Yes, I would consider you more of a guest without the opportunity to leave rather than a prisoner.
And he looks down at his chains and he looks back up at you and he says, "You are mocking me."
Well, no.
Yes, you are.
No.
Never mind.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And he just eats
Apologize to
the he just angrily eats the food he gave you and says, "I suppose you should leave me alone now so I can sleep. You need me to be well rested to do your work tomorrow." And he looks down and sort of tries to slouch over and get in a more comfortable position.
Yeah. I will, give him my bedroll so he has, like, a pillow tonight. I feel bad.
And you put it behind his head or something?
Yeah, put it behind his head so he has a pillow.
And he sort of is surprised when he did that. When you get closer to him, he bares his teeth a little more, like he's expecting you to do something to him. Because, of course, he probably remembers the last time you had him tied up to his gnoll friend and you just executed the guy right behind him. So he's a little nervous when you get super close to him when he's tied up like that. But you give him the roll and he isn't nervous anymore, but he doesn't seem entirely happy, but he's a little sated, and he looks up at you and he says, "I suppose this will make it more bearable."
Yeah, it's definitely not optimal. It's just we can't risk letting you go, and killing you is wrong at this point, so...
Why?
It'd be a danger to us if we let you go.
No, why is killing wrong?
Because you're our prisoner, and there is rules about prisoners as far as I've been told. Also, I've kind of grown to
prisoners. Like you. Why do you like me?
You have no qualms about speaking your mind.
You know I have difficulty speaking my mind when you don't use your magic. Oh, it's interesting. He seemed to recognize you're using magic, which was maybe a little unexpected.
Yeah, Oh, so you, do your people have magic?
And he sort of laughs a little bit and says, "We have gnoll magic, very different from the kind you have. But I am not the stupidest of gnolls. I can recognize when you speak to me differently. This is a spell you use."
That is true. Well...
I understand you have a job to do, so I will sleep to stop distracting you.
You sleep well. If there's anything besides food that you need to make your stay with us more bearable, just let me know, and I will attempt to fix that for you.
He looks up at you and cocks his head and his eyes narrow and he says, "Anything besides undoing these chains?"
Again, that's because it's a matter of safety. I'm sorry.
Yes. And he then, does the same sort of slouch over, but he looks a little more comfortable now that he has the bedroll up against his head at least. And he seems to, you watch him for a little while and he seems to drift off to sleep.
Okay.
So, and you guys might have heard some of that. The way I did it before was if you're interested in your character knowing about that in your passive perception is high, then you could sort of choose to like let that wake you up and listen, but maybe you're just more interested in sleeping soundly.
I'll listen in on it. I got
Okay.
high passive perception.
Yeah, I know. Yours is high enough to do that. So yeah, you can listen and hear. You'll hear Sorthyn having a fairly lengthy conversation with the gnoll, and you can't understand. You can't understand half the conversation because he's speaking in gnoll, but Sorthyn is responding or actually, Sorthyn would have to respond in gnoll essentially through his spell because otherwise, Rockcheck wouldn't be able to fully understand.
Would I be able to tell that he's using one of his spells?
Well, you'd hear him speaking a very harsh, language that you recognize as sounding like a gnoll, because you've heard gnolls a few times before now, so you'd recognize it. So yeah, they're speaking gnoll back and forth to each other, and Sorthyn definitely sounds fairly apologetic, and Rockcheck sort of is switching between sounding maybe a little sad and angry at the same time. So that's what you get out of it.
If I choose to wake up fully and go and talk to him for a few minutes, that can affect my rest for the night.
Yeah, you'd with that plus your watch, you wouldn't really be able to get a full rest, I don't think, because you're sort of interrupting it. You're supposed to have, I think, 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Just waking up here for like a couple minutes to listen in onto that, I wouldn't count as a real interruption, but like actually getting up and moving around and interacting and stuff would be an interruption.
Right. I'll let it pass for now.
Okay. You can always bring it up tomorrow, or maybe ask Sorthyn to go as a go-between potentially. But in any case, so then Sorthyn, that'll end your watch, and whoever's next can come up. I think it's Ophelia. Or is it Masson? Oh, it's Ophelia. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Ophelia can roll. Yep. So you see come out and see Rockcheck with a bedroll surprisingly behind him, behind his head. You're not sure where that came from, but
she's probably getting used to just finding him with stuff after my watch.
Yeah, no, you keep. Yeah, that's definitely true. It's definitely true. So you wouldn't be too surprised, but. Yeah, so you have a pretty uneventful watch. You remain attentive and everything and don't notice anything unusual. So Masson can do it. Okay, so yeah, you come up and you notice potentially as a result of that apologetic sort of conversation Sorthyn had, Rockcheck now has a bedroll behind his head. That's the first thing you notice, of course. So that may have given you some context to the conversation, so you'd maybe be able to intuit a little bit more. But beyond that, you stay attentive, and nothing unusual happens during your watch.
Time to mess it all up.
It's the witching hour. That's when all the stuff comes out.
No.
That's
persuasion.
Oh, that's the wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was about to say, I guess I was a little distracted and I think about the conversation.
Oh, no.
Even worse roll.
Crit fail.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna come out today and you're gonna sit there and try to. Oh, there's raw rules for resting.
Yeah, I was just wondering, and I found that. So I personally like your rules better, but because these rules are far more lenient.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, I think by the way I ruled it, we'll just stick to that unless there's some reason to amend or change it. But in any case,
time travel.
That would amend it. That would amend reality, actually. But all right. So Morris, you come out and you're feeling especially groggy this morning, but you're feeling pretty pissed actually about having to do the watch. You feel like you should probably be getting some more sleep. So you sit down, not in a good mood at all, and looking at Rockcheck sleeping over there, and you're looking at the trees swaying in the breeze, and just waiting for that sun to finally peak up, because usually you come out, it's very close to sunrise, so it doesn't take too long. And so you're waiting and you're waiting, and it's just, it's feeling very insufferable. And then suddenly you're jolted awake. Oh, you fell asleep. By a conversation just over your shoulder coming from the camp. And you hear Teramith's voice. And Teramith says, I simply don't understand how you managed to miss it, Ralcoon. Are you not a professional? I can't even, and he sort of stutters, and Ralcoon says, well, calm down, Teramith. You ordered me to start how I saw fit, and I did it. I don't see what your problem is. The second we went to excavate that wall, it would have come down, so I don't see how it's in any way affected your operation. Terry says, but it did affect my operation. You must understand that if and starting to get a little heated. So at this point, everyone's probably getting woken up by this conversation that's much louder than they're used to in the early morning. And this is about near the end of Morris's watch, so nobody's woken up too early. But Harry says, if something goes wrong, horribly wrong here, or if we have any unnecessary delays, and that's what makes me most angry, Ralcoon. This was a completely unnecessary delay. My reputation is on the line. This entire operation, my career, is essentially riding on this, you understand. Every single excavation is a bet that I make. And if that bet doesn't pay off, the university loses money. It's my reputation, it's my career, it's my entire life, Ralcoon. And Ralcoon just puts his hands up like, whoa, like slow down. Like he was not expecting this reaction. Dude just wants to go and dig. He doesn't really want to do anything else. And at this point, Henri seems like Henri, who's been standing next to him, decides that this is a great time to pipe in and essentially build off that. And says, yes, exactly, Ralcoon. I don't understand how you could be so, I don't want to say incompetent, but ignorant. My reputation is riding on this as well. And Terry immediately spins over to him and says, what do you mean your reputation, Henri? Henri goes, my family name is completely riding on your damn family name is not on the line. You could drop out of my program tomorrow when you still have your daddy's money, Henri. Don't you fucking talk to me about reputation. And now things are getting really heated. We're getting into a screaming match right now. And Henri says, like you understand a damn thing about the Louche family. You think I can just drop out of this program? You think my father would hesitate a single second to just own me for bringing that kind of shame on his house?
Okay. It's about that time. I'm walking over, entirely silent. I am entirely silent. My steps probably can barely be heard over this, if at all, even though I'm in full armor and get up with my scythe. And I'm going to walk right up in between them, like an all-in-one motion, and slam my scythe down on the ground. And call where is it? Just sacred flame just down around us to just
so it's like a harmless magical effect.
I mean, it is actual fire, but it doesn't hit anyone. It's just a lot of fire all of a sudden.
Okay.
That descends from the skies. Just be like.
So they immediately jump back, and they didn't even hear you coming. They weren't even paying attention to you hardly when you actually walk between them. But then this huge effect definitely gets their attention and shuts everybody up.
I understand that you all have very much on the line in your little political games within safe walls. Right now, however, we are in the middle of the forest in dangerous territory, and you are screaming at the top of your lungs. Shut up! I turn around and go back over to the fire to start doing something about breakfast.
And Henri looks at Terry and says, well, I can see your judgment is fully successful with hiring this interesting character to come and to come and harass us all throughout the morning, every day, with a gnoll in addition. Terry says, it's not my fault. This was my contact that gave me these people. And they're good people.
I can hear you all right now. Everyone still can.
And Henri says, I understand you can hear me. That was intentional. And he looks at Terry and says, listen, Terry. I know you're shameless. You have no shame. You don't understand the first thing about shame. And he's talking lower now. And Terry looks like he's about to respond, and but Henri cuts him off and says, "You don't understand the first thing about the importance that this has to me. So I would suggest you don't try and reduce the severity of this operation, because we both have a lot riding on it, and I must admit, this person," he's referring to you, "does have a point. If we get into many more shouting matches, this whole operation will be endangered more than it already is." And Terry just looks incensed, but he doesn't say anything back. And Henri calls back to Henrietta and says, Henrietta, we better get work on these new inscriptions. Let's not wait for Terry. He may have some time, may need some time to cool down. And they together collect all this stuff and go into the cave for the morning. And Terry is fuming and looks across everybody, looks across the camp, looks at Masson directly.
I'm not even looking at him. I'm just going about getting my breakfast, but my ears are very acutely on the situation.
Sort of, he brushes himself off and runs a finger through his mustache and turns around and stomps off into the cave off behind them. So,
well, that
was an interesting, yeah. Little
I
concerning.
feel like I would go and talk to them, but I also don't want to get involved in a shouting match.
That's true. They're not in a good mood.
Are you going to help with translations today, though?
You can help me dig.
I'll do translations.
Okay.
Little man.
Yeah, so what are you guys going to do for today? I'm guessing Masson and Rockchak will be doing their digging, as usual.
Yeah.
So Sorthyn's on translation, and then Ophelia and Morris, what are you guys gonna do today?
Whichever you
guarding.
prefer. Yeah? Okay.
Well, we said you wanted to stay away from the road, right?
Yeah.
It's been a couple days, but
Shouldn't be an issue, but you never know.
Seems a good idea. Okay, so Ophelia will do guarding. So everyone can roll their d12. Let's see what kind of things happen.
Let's see if I can continue my 3 streak.
Maybe.
Multiple of 3.
Okay, so Ophelia. Okay, so on inscriptions is Sorthyn, and nothing. Well, actually, there is something that will happen to you today, but not right away. Masson and Rockcheck rolled a 5. Excavation. So you guys will have an uneventful day, thankfully, or unthankfully.
No.
Ophelia on guard duty rolled a 7. Okay.
One of these days I'm going to
Morris.
strike my pickaxe the wrong way and find a small cave full of like weird creatures have to set fire. And then my day will be great.
Yeah, that'll be a great day. Okay, so Morris, thankfully you will not have any horrifying experiences today.
Yes.
You'll have a very boring day of
I'm on a
patrol.
roll.
I know. Who would have thought that you'd be applauding not having something happen? Okay, so first things first, Ophelia, roll. Actually, I gotta. You got
A
that.
friend in me.
Okay, so you can roll perception, Ophelia. Okay, so yeah, so today you'll be sort of doing your typical thing. I'm guessing you're up in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're keeping a good lookout, but you're feeling things are getting boring again for you, and sort of don't feel like you're maybe being as attentive as you should. So you don't notice anything interesting happening today.
Roll for sleep. No.
No, we don't need to do that. Okay, so now
Roll 1D nap.
how many hours the nap will last? Let's see. There's one thing I wanted to do. Oh yeah, okay. So Sorthyn, you'll come into the secret chamber with me briefly, and then we'll get through that, and then we'll boring again for you. Convene in a second. Okay, so today, well, I'm assuming. So, are you doing your spell strategy again today?
Yes, spell strategy.
Using 3 spells.
3 spells and saving the sorcery points in case things go wrong.
Okay, so yeah, so you will be doing that today, and of course you're making quick progress again. And let's go into the cave. And I found out there's no real way to change the views different players see. I don't think on Roll20, so everyone just has to look at the cave. But anyway, so you remember the inscriptions are here, right there.
Yep,
So,
in that little side cavern.
Yep, so there's one there, there's one there, there, and there's one there. So you're working on that, making good progress. As usual, you're basically flying along. And at one point, Terry sort of calls you aside. Or there's sort of a lull in things going on, and Harrietta and Henri sort of walk off to take their lunch, actually. And Terry sort of lags behind and to make sure he can talk to you. And he says, so I wanted to apologize for this morning. Very stressful business, you see. Sometimes I don't handle it as well as I should.
No worries. I can see you and Henri are under great stress, although personally I don't see what another discovery possibly does that's detrimental for you guys.
Hey, it's nothing detrimental, but just to think that we could have missed this information was... It left me in quite a state. To think that we would be here on this site and that through some poor luck we would miss something very important. Now, I am expecting that there will be yet more discoveries to be made, especially in relation to Ephorian artifacts once we get that main tunnel fully excavated. But it just got me worried that if we get through that tunnel and we don't find anything, then this will have essentially been, well, not a total failure, hardly a step above failure, you understand. A few inscriptions, that's not what the university is paying us a month to live out here and pay for this huge excavation and pay for all of you, you understand. We need something bigger.
Yes, but I would think that the university would be interested in the knowledge that would be stored in this place, because this seems to be a place where knowledge was stored. Maybe that isn't necessarily artifacts or golden gems or anything that could pay for that, but just like their lifestyles and stuff. That has to be of some value to them.
It's true, but these inscriptions are not the kind of knowledge they're looking for. My guess is that there's something more to this place, and well, perhaps I shouldn't say this because it'll make me sound even more off my rocker than I sounded this morning. But I don't know why. But have you ever? It's hard to describe, but I get this strange feeling about this place. It's not the inscriptions, it's not the excavation, but it's. Have you ever had a dream? Find yourself in a familiar place, but in the dream, this place is different, and you'd only notice once you've woken up. Have you ever had a dream like that?
Very lucid dreams?
Perhaps. It could be lucid, it could be not. You just simply see a place that seems familiar, and then when you wake up, you realize it wasn't that familiar place at all. It was quite changed in this dream.
I've had a couple of those. Nothing more than, just working out in the fields and then realizing that they weren't my field sort of dreams, being a farmer.
Yes, that's sort of what I'm getting at. Let's see, I'm getting this recurring impression that I've experienced this, but the other way around. Almost like I've been here before, and I recognize this place, but it's different in reality. Almost like I dreamed of the true nature of this place before, and now that I'm seeing it in the flesh, as it were, I'm not seeing the real picture. But it's strange. I don't mean to. Have you gotten this impression? You're obviously well gifted with magic, so I thought perhaps maybe talking to you would have felt the same.
As far as I know, no. Only odd thing that's been happening here is we now have a pet gnoll.
Yeah. That damn gnoll. Yeah, I know.
And I'm sorry about that. That seems to be a sticking point between you and Henri, but...
Well, that is one of them, but we've mostly gotten over it. As long as things go as they have been going with that gnoll, and nothing goes wrong, then I suppose no harm, no foul.
Oh, I should also probably mention he seems to be getting more and more anxious about leaving and going back to his people. He mentioned that to me last night.
Well, if he gets too anxious, you know what the solution is. It's obvious. Our demon of a friend there won't like it, but he doesn't have to like it. He's paid to do a job, and if his sensibilities are preventing him from doing it, then, well, to hell with him. This operation needs to remain safe. We need to get this whole thing done, for God's sake.
That's what I was trying to tell him, but he doesn't seem to comprehend safe and not just killing him now. Like, those two things seem to go hand in hand for him. I think it's just... Well... Gnolls are a bit more violent than us.
Yes. Well, no, I don't want people to think anything is going on or anything's gone wrong, so we should probably head out and have some lunch with the rest of them. So he'll end the conversation there.
Okay.
So...
It's all my fault, and that's what we've learned today.
Terry was just feeling a bit closer to Sorthyn, or felt like he could talk to him for whatever reason about some things.
Oh no. You can't trust a sorcerer.
He seems to trust Sorthyn. I don't know what impression you got from what Terry told you, Sorthyn, but...
Oh, that's something I'm going to have to talk to the group about tonight.
Okay. Well, in any event, so athletics, no progress on that front, but using those 3 spell slots, you'll get the inscription almost completely finished, and you know that, again, it's sort of like, right on the cusp, and you'll be able to spend just a little bit of time tomorrow, and you'll be able to finish that inscription off.
Oh yeah, I do another hour of meditation in the morning with my goddess.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you can do an hour. You're not praying. You're just doing meditation to sort of recharge your connection to her and sort of reorient, right?
Right.
Okay.
Changing my attack plan with that.
Okay. So yeah, you can meditate and you'll feel as you have been spiritually refreshed, and it seems to be a compounding effect. Like you're feeling just sort of this calmness, this sort of more vibrant connection. Every day you do it, it gets a little bit more, progresses a little bit more.
A few more days now, start sprouting scorpion legs. No.
I don't know about that. That's more like a level 20 gift from your goddess. But in any case,
Can I get the tail at least? No.
well, you can ask her that next time you talk to her.
Yeah, right. That'll be my question that day. Yeah, another thing about those guys, I just wonder if I can get a tail.
Okay, so yeah, so good progress today. Thankfully, nothing horrible has gone wrong. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting.
Now I'm thinking, what would happen if for the next 3 years in the campaign, is every single morning I just wake up, "Hi goddess, can I have a tail?"
she'd probably get stop listening to you if you did that. But anyway, so it's the evening now, so you guys are convening around the fire as you usually do. The mood between Terry and his students is, I mean, Harrietta's never got involved in the fight. She just didn't want people to be yelling at each other. So really, Masson, you and her were in agreement essentially, but you just had different ways of going about it. You have different styles of diplomacy, obviously.
That was a bit more aggressive negotiations.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know if you entirely ingratiated yourself to them with that action, especially since they're probably already not too happy about the gnoll being here. Although they can't be too unhappy because they haven't been complaining to you constantly. They've just been a little icy. But in any case, they've definitely cooled off.
So I'm getting paid.
Yep, you're definitely. Yeah, never said anything about that. So they're treating each other not angrily, at least, but it's cool. It's like anger's cooled off, but they're still sort of coolly interacting. So it's, in any event, so that's what's going on around the fire tonight. And Birthday's sitting down halfway between the university folks and you guys. So what do you guys want to do tonight? Discuss something, or you guys want to do some individual activities?
I'd like to go around and check traps and such.
Okay. Yeah, you had the one trap, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know for an hour or so, I'm going to try to swap languages with Rock Check.
Okay. So Morris, nothing in your trap for tonight, unfortunately. But do you want to do anything else?
I just don't want to be in camp, so I'll, wander around the sort of area.
Okay, you can do
survey it or something.
Okay, you can go see if you can spend some time collecting herbs, or you can just maybe go for a walk and get a better lay of the area around the camp, perhaps.
I'll go check for herbs.
Okay.
Sorthyn, he's been asking for so long, and I guess now I have some time.
Yep, there's already some cache. I don't know who found them, but I have it noted down that you've got some.
Yeah, I found one thing of herbs.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so yeah, you can do that. Make a survival check. Okay. Yeah, so you managed to find a few sparse bits of basic things that would be able to be used for like a salve or a poultice or something to maybe treat a burn or a sick stomach, some general purpose basic things.
Oh, now a week later, you want to give me some herbs. I see how it is.
Well, I think I just brought up because I think you guys have been forgetting, and there is some time potentially. So.
You want me to roll persuasion or a charisma?
Raw charisma to try and
swap
get him
languages.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just as I can just do the save roll.
Yeah, you can just roll as a save, but I think you can roll raw charisma. Whatever. The save is the same.
Well, I'm proficient in charisma. That's why I asked.
And charisma saves. Oh, okay, yeah.
The plain skill
it's
is
not the
below
same as
the normal skills.
Yeah, it's not the same thing as a save.
Oh, that's right, isn't there? Oh, right, it's underneath.
It's just a D20 skills. Plus your modifier.
Ah, there it is. Found it. Okay. Cool.
I'm probably just going to be reading the book about magic.
Oof, that is rough.
Yeah, so you don't make too much progress with Rokchek this evening, unfortunately. He seems a little on edge. When he worked today, he didn't seem too happy and too enthusiastic. When he realized he wasn't working too well, it made him put him in a worse mood, because he knows that he always gets fed more when he does better work, but it's just sort of bad. His bad mood sort of fed into itself as a feedback loop, and he just got madder and a little more sour throughout the day.
Especially because he probably got 3/4 meat tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And I'm running out of rations to feed him.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that? So Ophelia, you can read that book. He just wants to eat. All right, so I'll note down that you've read some more. So it's a pretty again, you're finding this even more opaque than the Ephoretien book. So it's like, you read a page and you're like, I didn't understand anything on this page, so you got to go read it again. But you make some progress through it, and you feel like you maybe have started to learn a little bit about the basics of arcane magic, arcana in general. So, yeah, so we make a little progress there. And what was the other thing we wanted to do? Did someone want to do something else?
I wanted to actually go talk to Birthday again.
Oh, that's right.
And I was gonna talk with Sorthyn real quick at some point, but probably after the birthday thing, as I'd imagine that's about the same time I'll be talking to Rokchek.
Okay.
So I would go over to Birthday and be like, thinking more about your curse. This is gonna sound bad, but don't take it in this such of a way. About how long ago did you meet everyone here in the camp? Like, who's the person that you've known the longest, and approximately how long ago was it that you met them?
And he thinks about how to address your question, and it seems like the way you word it seems like it's a little difficult for him to answer it properly. And he says, birthday, and he scans over the people in the camp, and he points to Teramith, and he points to him and says, birthday.
Okay, you've known Teramith the longest, and
birthday.
Would weeks be a good characteristic of how long you've known him?
And he says, birthday,
with a head nod or head shake.
Yeah, it was with a sort of a shrug and a half nod, like maybe about that much, a couple weeks.
Okay, so you haven't. They have not been in your life since before the curse happened.
He shakes his head. No, birthday.
Okay. Well, that's good. Was there anybody that you had a particular struggle with or bad relationship with that might have been able to go about doing this to you? Yes or no?
And he thinks like it's hard to
like, did you have any rivalries in the past that might have led to such a thing?
And he shrugs like he's not sure. Like he feels like he doesn't know how to say yes or no. Like he said, like he understands your question, and he's trying to make sure he doesn't answer in a way that misleads you. So he thinks for a second, and at first he gives like a little nod and says birthday, but then he shakes his head no and says birthday.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep thinking on it, but curses don't just happen without reason, so I'm trying to isolate a reason that might be why you are cursed.
And he gives a little laugh like, birthday. As in like, yeah, I certainly know they don't happen for no reason. I know why one happened to me, but he's unable to say.
All right, well, you take care.
Okay. So, what else did you guys want to do? Did Masson and Sorthyn want to do something else yet?
I was gonna grab Sorthyn to talk about Rockjack.
Ah, good idea.
All
and
right.
you guys can get included on this too, Ophelia and Morris.
Well, I think right now I'm out and about
Yeah.
gathering up
I
herbs
suppose
and
that's true. Oh, and
such.
Ophelia's reading her book. Okay.
Yeah, I'll listen if anything interesting happens, but
Okay.
So, what's up, Masson? What do you want to talk about?
I just overheard you and Rockjack talking last night. You using that understanding spell, I'm assuming? Or do you actually know a gnoll?
No, I was using this spell. It's just seems to be the only way to actually communicate with him and get any semblance of meaning across both ways.
Ah, okay. How's he doing?
He really wants to go home to his people. And when I told him the approximate time of how much time was left, he got really angry at me about that and said that we were just holding him as a prisoner. And I said, "No, you're a guest that just can't leave." And he took that even more poorly. So I felt bad and gave him my bedroll as a pillow.
Ah, I'm explaining how he seemed distracted today in the mine. Hmm. Uh, hmm. So, would you say the two of you are getting a little bit more on the close side?
I
All
mean,
things considered.
all things considered, yes. I like him because he speaks his mind and doesn't seem to have a qualm. I'm not sure if that's a Gnoll thing or not, but he doesn't seem to hide his feelings, which means that he's easy to read. Whereas Henri and Terry, they both have stuff to hide, and while I know that everyone does, it's starting to get frustrating.
I agree with that. Do you think I have things to hide?
I'm sure you do. I just haven't picked up on any yet, or you haven't. I don't know you as well, or something. I don't know. Everybody has secrets.
Maybe you just haven't. Maybe you just haven't asked. I generally don't try to keep secrets. Just most people don't ask. Just something to keep in mind.
All right, sounds good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's just something Terry said to me that's both bothering me and just seems unusual. But I'm not sure I should tell you. But you're a man of God, so maybe you can help settle my feelings in that regard.
Of God? You mean my goddess? Or
Yeah, well, of a deity, I should say.
yeah, yes, of course. I mean, to be entirely fair, well, technically speaking, my belief system doesn't have the whole um priest to follower confidentiality, but me personally, I tend to use that as a rule of thumb, as it does come up more often than you'd think. So, I mean, if you wish, I will keep that in confidentiality. I keep other people's secrets. I don't really have that many of my own, really.
Okay, it's just Terry feels like he's been here before, but can't really explain why, and that bothers me, especially with the whole left side of the cavern being barely blocked off, and then the right side of the cavern we're making steady progress in what was a tunnel previously, like someone purposefully collapsed it, or it collapsed over time. It just seems odd that he feels like he's been here before.
Ophelia's ears perk up at that.
I see. That's interesting. Have you felt anything similar to that?
No, nothing strange other than just learning this whole apparition thing with magic. It's definitely different than learning it the normal way.
I'm gonna come over and ask if I heard that right. Did you say Terry thinks he's been here before?
That's what he mentioned. Just like you know those dreams where like you're doing something in a place you know, but when you wake up and you go to that place, things are different, but you could have sworn that the dream was real. That's kind of how he described it to me.
Harrietta actually mentioned the same thing to me. That's why I went to go check out the caves with her. Huh.
Strange.
I wonder why it's just the two of them.
I just had had an idea. That could explain why they seem to be low on funds, because if Terry is the man that he says he is, the university went short him. Maybe they've been here and done this before, but forgotten somehow.
My face seems to be showing some kind of like something's heavily on my mind, but I'm choosing not to say it. And it's probably fairly obvious to anyone that's paying attention.
What's on your mind, Masson? You seem troubled or something.
No, it's nothing to do with me.
Okay, well, it just seems like this cave is not what it seems to be. That both worries and intrigues me.
I would,
Agreed.
Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment.
And then Morris walks in. Hey, everyone, what's up?
Hi, we're having a depressing conference. Care to join?
Were you stealthing and then suddenly jumped out when you did that, or just walked out?
You guys were staring off into space pretty hard there.
Yeah, we're just trying to hurt
right?
ourselves. Yeah.
All right.
Just trying to.
Starts cooking up some, like a little snack or something. Just not caring at all. Like, all right, they said they were fine. Whatever.
Let us know if we start bleeding out our noses or anything. We're thinking far too hard.
Okay, so are you guys? Is that finish the conversation for you guys?
Yeah, it's probably where I go off and take accounting of the supplies and my usual nightly duties around dinner time.
Okay, so you notice that also the supplies are they're a little. I mean, if you're expecting for your group to stay for the full 30 days, with how much you've been feeding the gnoll, you're starting to get a little behind, obviously. But if you can finish in 20 days, then there's no problem.
Okay.
But it might be getting beyond that. It might be getting a little tight.
I mentioned Morris when he goes scouting and keep an eye out for any food sources that he can bring back. And even if he picks up a trail of maybe some larger beast that looks edible, we might be able to take a break from helping with the things here and maybe go fetch us some a good meal, like the wolves, for example.
Very well. I'll do what I can.
This means it's not like things are going to halt here if we suddenly leave for a bit, for a few hours one day.
Okay. So I guess that'll probably finish your activities for the evening on this 11th day. Day 11. I should have written that into chat just for posterity. I think I might have missed 1 or 2 days in here writing the chat, but I just like to log it as we're moving on. It's getting towards time to turn in. You'd normally turn in. And Henri, of course, has been, they've sort of stopped talking, but not in like we're angry with each other way, Henri and Terry and Harrietta. But it's mainly just the conversation sort of died down and they're getting ready to go to bed. But Henri seems to be staring at the fire deep in thought. And he's got a few leaves of paper, parchment, notes essentially, from what has been done that day that he's been reading over. And you see sort of the almost like exasperation slowly building on his face, and suddenly he stands up. You hear the papers shuffling, and he stands up rigidly and very quickly, and announces, not to you guys specifically, but to no one really in particular. He says, "I think I'll stay up a little later and do some more research in the cave."
I stand up and say, yeah, I've been curious about that. Mind if I join you, if at least for a little while? Then I'll leave you to it.
Are you sure you'd even be able to contribute?
I give him a look of, that's not what I meant. But then, I think I've gotten a few ideas lately. And I just grab my scythe and begin walking towards the cave, regardless of his answer.
Okay, so the cave is very dark, but it's also got it's hardly lit up by that by the glowing, because by that glowing electric blue veins that run through everything. Because remember, this they're like lit against the darkness, yet they give off no glow of light, which is sort of their weird property.
Scythe light.
Yeah, scythe light. You got it. So you guys will be
scythe light.
So he seems to be. I don't know if you guys react to them, to those two going into the cave, because it's about time you'd go to sleep at this point. You guys need to get your rest. So, what do you guys think of that?
I'm just. I know I personally am distracted and not paying attention, so
okay.
I probably would miss it.
I'm just reading.
Yeah, Morse is just gonna get ready to go to bed.
Okay. So you two guys can go into the cave. And where are you guys gonna go? Like Henri immediately, he's walking. He just immediately, he says, he just gestures to you to follow him. He says, "Well, they're through here, so it'll lead you down the corridor, and you can use your light to help him maybe read some of the inscription."
I then admit, yeah, I didn't follow you necessarily for research, but more to check up on how you're doing. I don't know if this is when you want to jump into the secret chamber or not.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, this would be a good time. You guys can either discuss something amongst yourselves or pre-roll your watch perception checks while I'm gone. I mean, it won't take like a couple of seconds, but this won't be a long conversation. So let me put you in the oops, give you the roll. Oh, you've already got the roll.
And he's going all of a sudden. Okay.
So, the Cave of Time Loops.
Yeah.
Interesting. That
I think it'd be really funny.
I have no in-character desire to know anything more about it.
It was going to be funny if they had been here before and like did a bunch of stuff here, but then left and lost all memory of it, so they just keep coming back. It would explain why the other guy knows that this is the place, though.
And it would explain the son of the librarian. Remember, he had said he had been at this expedition, so it's entirely possible he was on a previous one. But why that would mean that he hadn't lost his memory of the event.
We can't exactly send a message back to Saramino and ask him how many expeditions he's helped with, right?
Go find what was her name, Bludrin? Like, hey, Remember how I asked you to talk to your son? How'd that go?
Okay. So, Matt, so you guys are getting ready for your watch, and Madison seems to be in there for quite a while. But after that conversation, he does come out. At this point, it'll probably be the first person's watch is always Sorthyn. So, Madison, you want to roll? Roll a perception first.
I'll roll my my stuff. Yeah. So if my rolls are a little bit slow in the coming, sometimes I'm multitasking like one wouldn't believe. Oh, and okay. I am very distracted tonight, but somewhat there.
All right. So Sorthyn is Sorthyn, you're just sitting around. You do your watch. Everyone turns in. Sorthyn's doing his first watch as usual. Rockcheck seems to be. Does Rockcheck still have your bedroll?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so he's kept the bedroll. Then he seems to be sleeping somewhat comfortably tonight, so he doesn't come to lambaste you or complain or anything. And you feel like you're staying pretty attentive, and you don't notice anything in the forest, and your watch will pass uneventfully.
All right.
And it's come to Ophelia's turn now.
Mm-hmm.
Ophelia, again, you stay very good and attentive. Nothing's going to get by you, and you don't see the gnoll doing anything suspicious, so your watch will pass uneventfully. And then Masson, you feel like you're maybe slipping a little bit. Your attention keeps getting distracted. You probably have a lot to think about, and maybe you're, especially with Rockjack and maybe the conversation with Henri and just the whole situation, some things you learned about tonight as well.
Many things on the mind of the priest. Everyone's suddenly confiding in.
Yeah, so you're quite distracted, but you don't think you notice anything. You definitely have plenty of moments where you're fully lucid, but you do let your mind wander. But as far as you can tell, your watch has passed uneventfully. And then Morris, so you're up doing your watch, and it seems like things have passed pretty uneventfully for you too. Don't think anything's gotten by you. And now in the morning, you usually go out and check your trap and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you do that, you hear splashing. As you're about to go and check your trap, you hear splashing, and it's quite early. Usually, maybe about a half hour earlier than everyone else usually wakes up, because the sun isn't fully out yet. It's still very dark twilight. But you hear some splashing coming from behind you in this direction.
Splashing?
Yeah, like water next to that water bucket. So
obviously begin shooting at random as fast as you can.
I'll creep up to it.
Okay, so
as silently as possible.
Yep. Make a stealth check. Okay, yeah, so you remain very stealthy. Nothing's going to see you as you make your way over. How are you going to make your way over here? Because there's something it's standing around next to the water that they have there.
Just, I might come over to, here so that I can, take a look and see what it is without being right on top of it.
All right.
Turns out I'm just washing my hands after doing my business.
And you see the splashing is actually Henri in his clothes from the previous day, just splashing water on his face and washing his hands and running the water over it, scrubbing his arms up and down. And he looks a little frustrated and a little frazzled, like he didn't get a whole lot of sleep.
See, I told you.
And he's just sort of vigorously, washing his arms and washing his face, and lots of vigorous, jerky movements, like he's, very frustrated about something.
I'll sort of walk up to him. Henri, you're up awfully early.
Yes, well, apparently I stayed up a bit too late, and I couldn't quite fully get to sleep, so I must have, I don't know, must have woken up some time ago.
Did you
I don't know.
sleep at all?
Well, of course, I just came from my tent.
Did you? Because I've been keeping watch.
Well, yes, I've been in there I must have been in there for at least a few hours.
Can I make I don't know, insight? Did I hear him come out of his tent?
You didn't. No, you didn't. You maybe would have. You think back and you thought you heard. You didn't notice anything at the time, but you think back and you thought, okay, well, you heard some footsteps. You thought maybe it was just someone getting water, or just, so maybe someone must have been going to the bathroom. That's happened on occasion. So if it's, just one set of footsteps lightly from the camp, you don't think anything of it. So you imagine that was probably him. Like, oh, that would have to have been him just recently. Okay. So yeah.
And then I will not argue that he did not just come from his tent.
Liar, you came from outside.
So you can still roll insight, though.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, see if he's maybe trying to
guarantee anything, but I'll
deceive, but Oh, actually, hang on. If you did roll, did you just roll?
I did.
Okay, I can't see it because Roll20 just said your connection has been interrupted.
Oh yeah, I got that too.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
in
it
here.
kicked me out.
Oh, it kicked you out too.
Let me refresh.
Must be the whole darn game.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it
got
didn't even go.
popped out. I'm refreshing. Wait, what? Recalculating splines? There's
Reticulating
spleens?
spline. That's a
Reticulating. So that's an old
old
joke.
joke. Yeah, from was it from the Quake level editor or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what it was.
that's pretty funny.
Whoa.
And nobody knows what it means. Nobody
No.
knows
Yeah,
what
nowadays, that was just a joke that they threw in. I thought like an inside joke. All right, so
I guess I'll remake that roll.
yeah, re-roll that.
Rolls nat 20. Hey, totally helped me.
Okay.
It's actually worse. That's impressive. I rolled a 9
well,
last time.
Oh, you rolled a 9. Okay, yeah. So not even that. Okay. So yeah, that seems logical to you, and you don't notice anything too unusual. So you're like, man, all right.
All right.
So he sits there and he seems a little frustrated. You figure, he's probably frustrated that like he just didn't get much sleep and he let himself, stay up so late, which I'm sure we all know that feeling.
Totally not doing that right. No, I'm joking.
Well, fortunately, he's a half elf, so he doesn't need as much, right?
Is that true? I think only elves go into a trance for their sleep, right? It's half elves need regular sleep, or they need less sleep.
I think half elves got screwed and have to sleep like a human.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Only full elves get the trance.
Okay, so then so he would have needed a full sleep. Obviously, didn't quite get that. So check. So you still gonna head out and check your trap?
Yeah.
Okay. And it seems something set it off in the night, but again, it got away. So does not. Haven't been having too good luck with that. But in any event, so you can reset that, or if you want to, or do something else.
I'll just leave it be.
Okay.
It's no good to me if it doesn't actually get me anything.
It's just, I've been rolling for. I'm getting rolls that don't go in your favor. Pretty consistent.
11 days straight.
I know you got one thing once, and
and then we kept it, and now it's still here.
Oh no, you got the null, but I was saying you did get like I think what have you decided was like a small game, like a hare or something. Yeah. In any event.
But you need to get a deer. No.
I mean,
you get a whole thing, yeah.
I'll move it around and set it up again. The same general trail.
Okay, same general area, but just shifted a little. See if that helps. That makes sense. Okay, so you guys, so Henri has retired to his tent to change, and he comes out and looks mostly fresh. Henri always looks a little prissy, and he looks just a little slightly bedraggled after he's freshened himself up. And everyone else starts the day, things get underway as normal. So you guys can decide what you're going to do for the day on this fine day 12.
Picking up that pickaxe after an hour of meditation.
All right. So
I'll go scouting, but keeping what Masson said in mind, I'll turn it more into a hunt, I guess.
Oh, you're going to see if you can hunt stuff?
Scout and hunt at the same time. So instead of going quite so far out,
okay,
spend more time trying to find something.
All right, so you focus more on the hunting than the scouting today? Okay. So that's good. What is everyone else doing? Masson and I'm guessing same thing as usual. Masson and Rockjack will be in the mines?
Yep.
Not really in the mines, but doing excavating. It makes it sound like a little. Well, actually, everyone's got to roll their. Everyone's got to roll their D12.
I'm keeping that.
Hey, you can keep that.
I'm keeping that 21.
Yeah, Sophia.
So I'm gonna guard again, but similar. I want to kind of like walk up and down the path if that's possible. Well, next
down
to
the road.
path. Yeah, and see if I can find anything to hunt as well for food.
Okay.
If that's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, you can try that, or maybe see if you can scavenge some things you know are edible. It'll be a little difficult to do that since it's a pretty it's right close to the road, and although you're fairly close to the source of water, so we'll determine how that works out momentarily. So first of all, Chris, Sorthyn is going to be getting right away today. Off the first cast, you'll be able to solve the one, get that one translation done, and start in on the next one for the day.
All right, sounds good.
So that's what you'll do. So you guys will discover the next engraving, which of course everyone will be happy about. Henri seems relieved, like he was expecting that to happen, and he's just thankful that nothing went wrong in the time it took for him to go back and forth. So today, let's see. Okay, inscription, you rolled 7. Okay. I rolled it myself. Okay, good. Okay. So something will happen to you today. Excavation. No, nothing's going to happen to Masson and
Because I
Rock
always
today.
roll a 5
I
every
know, that's a
single
lot
day.
of cards. You have to get something more extreme than that to have something happen while excavating. But in any case, but you will do definitely very well. And you can roll rock checks as well.
Yeah. He's doing slightly better than he did before.
Yeah, he will. Obviously he's trying a little more today, but he. So he actually does manage to make some very small progress, and you obviously do a lot along with the dwarves, so that's good for you guys. You will knock a good amount off, and then Ophelia. Okay, so Morris, you can roll survival for today since you're. I'm jumping all around for no discernible reason, just to confuse myself apparently. But Morris, you can do survival. Roll survival check for today.
I've not been having very good rolls.
Not
that
today.
night, he arrives, and I'm like, the glorious hunter returns. What'd you get us?
And the answer is nothing.
Next day, Masson wakes up with an arrow in his skull.
No, wait. We need to save those arrows, man.
Well, I guess he wouldn't.
I'm not worth the arrow. I see. It couldn't be the fact. It could be the fact that maybe you guys all need me to keep you alive if things get dicey. Nah.
Yes. Well, you're a very important part of the group. If we lost one person here, it'd be a major blow because y'all are very, very integral. But anyway.
However, Fight Club.
Yes. Oh yeah, Fight Club. Yeah, you guys can always do some similar Fight Club. In any case,
we haven't sparred in a while.
Oh, didn't you only do it the one time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not since level 2.
Ophelia, you can roll survival with disadvantage because you're looking in a very small area and you're also trying to actually guard at the same time.
Okay.
Watch your way back. Yep.
Oh well, no, you don't get to take the high one. You get you do get 17. So that's
well, no, it's still double what the ranger got.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not very good at being a ranger, apparently.
No, you're doing fine. You do all the stealthy and arrow stuff really well, at the very least.
Yeah, you're a great rogue.
I need to multi-class into rogue, obviously.
Apparently.
Okay, so Ophelia, something's going to happen to you. Actually, first it's going to be something's going to happen to Ophelia, and something is going to happen to Sorthyn. So Sorthyn, let's quickly go into the secret chamber once I give you the thing. Yeah. All right. So today, while you're working, you don't. Henri seems a little haggard. You definitely notice he seems haggard, and he doesn't seem to be able to contribute as well as he usually does. Normally he's sort of on his own, but he's right on the ball. But today he seems a little distracted. He might be, I don't know how Sorthyn would evaluate it, but yeah, it seems maybe almost like he's coming apart at the seams. Ophelia already rolled initiative. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. They're simulating combat. That's why. Anyway, so at this point, you're working hard all day, and you sit down for lunch. You take a lunch break. Birthday. As soon as lunch comes by, Birthdays has this habit of immediately walking away because he's always trying to stick near Terry, but he always just walks away. And this time, I don't know where you would eat lunch. Would you want to eat it in the cave today, or would you want to go out to the camp? Maybe get out of that cave.
After 3 hours, I'm pretty much useless, so I'd probably just go to the camp.
Okay. Yeah, so you go to the camp, and you see the dwarves there. And Ralkun sees you sort of sitting by yourself, and he does something uncharacteristic, which is get up and leave his dwarven cohorts there. And he actually comes up to talk to you. And he says, now, what they call you again? Sorthyn, was it?
Yeah. My name is Sorthyn. What is this going on with you, Ralkun?
Well, I'm glad you remembered my name. Sorry, I almost forgot yours.
No worries. You haven't interacted with me since the first day where I failed miserably.
Yeah, well, it's no worries. Dwarves are made for this kind of thing, and not everybody else is. That's just how it is. But I just wanted to ask you, do you have any sort of opinions on the situation with that Henri fellow and Terramouth? What's going on there? Do you have any sort of insight into this? Because I'm worried about my boys if there's anything going wrong with this dig.
What with the argument that happened?
Well, that and all the goddamn ogres and gnolls that have apparently been running around roughshod in this whole area.
I mean, this is the North, so the ogres and gnolls is not too unusual, although they do seem to all be misplaced from elsewhere. As for why that is, I couldn't possibly tell you. I've done
work up here. I know this isn't entirely characteristic. I know they're out there, of course, but to have this many sort of small incidents, it's got me and the boys a bit nervous, you see. So I was wondering if you had insight into that. And also to Henri is in Terramouth, as I said.
As for Henri and Terramouth, I mean, they seem to butt heads a lot, and I don't think it's going to cause any issues. It's just they both have pretty large egos, and those egos seem to be bruised pretty easily, so I wouldn't let it worry you too much. It's just, academics being academics.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, and I suppose if we have any further trouble with the gnolls, then, well, we got a hostage. I don't know if gnolls much care about hostages, but then there's the ogres. I'm sure you fellas can take care of them. You and the lady fella.
Yeah, well, that's what we were hired for, so hopefully we can deal with anything that comes our way. So far, we've been able to do it pretty well, but you never know.
Because if push comes to shove, I mean, I hope you won't think less of me for saying I'm just taking my men and getting out of here.
Oh, no, you have to worry about you and your livelihood. This is just a paying job for you. You weren't hired as guards, so...
No, I'm glad we understand. I'm glad we understand.
But, yeah, just keep safe and keep digging. Maybe push a little harder just to give...
We're pushing as hard as we can get. We can. We don't ever hold back at any point.
All right. Well...
nice talking to you, Mr. Sorthyn. And so he'll shake hands with you and head back to finish his lunch with his dwarves. Okay, so that's it for today, for that one. Ooh. Okay, now, for a second I thought Ophelia was preemptively rolling initiative for whatever happened today.
Nah, it's Fight Club, man.
It's a very failing fight club.
It's a very failing fight
It's the
club.
saddest fight club.
Well, it's better you guys spend all your bad rolls on each other in a
It's been
simulated fight
awful
than
rolls.
spend bad rolls on when a rampaging pair of ogres comes at you.
These have been the worst rolls.
Is it time for Secret Chamber now, though?
It's time for Ophelia in the secret chamber, yes.
All right, forfeit.
Alrighty, let's see what happens.
Give you a kick on the rump on your way out. Who's next? Who wants at it?
I'll fight you.
Alright, roll initiative.
I don't have any spells left.
Oh no, this is all simulated. We're
I'm
not
getting in
counting
on
spells.
this.
Oh, we're
Hold
going
on.
to do a 3-way? I wrote the same initiative. Are you kidding me?
Why does my initiative roll not work?
Click on
Because you
your
have to
token.
click your token because we each control 2 tokens, technically, due to the gnoll.
Alright.
Oh wait, I have advantage on. Okay.
Alright.
You win or you win harder.
Okay.
Yeah, all the spells are simulations, so they don't count. And this is a 3-way?
Of course.
All right.
Okay. So it
on
is
over there.
zombies.
Let's go ahead and do I'm gonna have to do funky rolls because this does not include all the bonuses I'm supposed to have. It doesn't work for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's all. Let's try getting a proper triangle. We're the same distance away from each other. Make this kind of regulation.
Regulation football.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we can try. Diagonals are weird. Let's try 20 feet.
We're all 15. Yeah.
Are we all 15 right now? Oh,
If I go there and you go
yeah,
back
that is
one, then you're
15.
20.
that's a weird 15.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't look like a
There.
perfect.
Now we're all 20.
There we go.
Okay. So
Okay.
let me see. So it's 2d20 plus 3. No, 2d20. Keep highest 1 plus 3. As I shoot Sorthyn, I guess. Pachoo! So that's
Okay, so you crit.
I'm
Yeah,
probably
so-
just down.
Dead. Okay, so the damage is gonna be
Doubled.
2d8s plus your modifier.
/roll 2d8 plus 4 for dex and then 10 for my snipe shot. So take 20 damage.
You're down.
Yeah, I'm just down. One shot.
One shot, one kill.
Okay.
And then he's gonna guiding bolt me, and I will also die instantly.
If I
'Cause
hit you.
I have 11 health.
Well, let's see. Let's see if I can hit him. She's doing our Kung. I don't want to know. Oh, that's a double digit. Oh.
Nope. Yep. There I go. I'm at -3.
You
I
only
win.
have 13 health. You only have 11 health?
I only have 11 health.
How?
Both
I'm
of
an
you are
old
awful.
man.
You get a D10 for the first level, so did you get a 1 for your level up?
I have a Constitution of 9, so I have -1 there. I got my 10, so that put me at 9, and then I rolled a 3 -1, so 2, so I'm at 11.
Oh, that's so sad.
I am at.
That's why I got to
18.
be sure that I kill things before they can see me.
I see. Wow. Okay. Shall we
'Cause when I
restart?
do hit, I hit real hard.
Yeah, but then I smack you and you
And then
fall
someone
over.
sneezes. Well, that's what you're around for, is so that
Yeah, I mean, if you were in a
Can't get to me.
-3, firstly, I use spare the dying and you stop bleeding out. Like you stabilize, you auto stabilize, and then either we win or I healing word you or whatever and get you back at least conscious. That's pretty much how that works.
As long as we don't outright kill each other, we're fine.
Oh yeah, right. Like as long as I don't blow your head off somehow. Yeah.
As
Or
long
an
as you
ogre
don't
takes it off.
do as much damage as they have a maximum health in a single blow once they're when you're putting them into negatives.
Yeah, is there a massive damage?
There's an alternate ruling
roll?
in the DMG, but it's a really dumb ruling and no one uses it. The other ruling that is more normal is if you take your entire health, extra damage when you go to 0 health, you just outright die, no save throws involved. Otherwise, when you are unconscious, any melee hits within 5 feet of you are criticals, and critical hits force 2 failed death saving throws automatically. Ranged attacks would just be 1 death saving throw since it's not a melee attack within 5 feet.
Jeez.
So yeah, the coup de grace is really strong if you're a melee.
Coup de grace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
coup de grace.
actually, you know what's scary is that in my other DM's homebrew games, that's the whole entire health bar after you go to 0 is entirely possible with normal fighters because of how certain abilities scale damage against certain other people that have comparably much lower health. Like just last Thursday, we ran against a multi-class melee, unarmed melee fighter who punched our berserker so hard that a Superman through his chest plate, and did something like 180 something damage, and that's 3 times my max HP bar for my character. That's like a ninja, basically.
Okay.
So, Ophelia, our fight club ended in 2 seconds, literally 2 moves.
You just
And it
wipe
was a
somebody out.
3-way. Oh no,
I got
it was
1 shot and then Masson 1 shot.
and then the 3-way was over.
That would do it.
It's low level combat. You guys, well, I mean, you guys are level 2, but it only starts to sort of, I think, it's still very deadly even at level 2. Level 3 is when things start to sort of even out.
Well, the thing is, Ophelia and I are the only ones that can take more than 1 hit on average.
Yeah, that's true. Poor Morris over there, he got fucking 2 health for leveling up.
And then he gets hit with 20. Oh no, not Morris. Sorthyn got hit by 20 health points. By him with 14 with 1 guiding bolt.
Well, let's be glad we're not actually fighting each other then. We don't have to, rather.
Sorthyn takes an arrow in the eye, and I blast Morris through the chest. Just a hole.
I'm not explaining this to Terry.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to.
We're not actually fighting, Terry. Stop being scared.
Yeah. It's a theater of the mind. Okay, so that will end your guys' day. So you can reconvene around the campfire in the evening and talk about what you discuss in the evening or what you do, your evening activities.
I broke rocks really enthusiastically.
Yeah, you did a good job.
I got stalked by a crow.
Huh?
Yeah, there's this weird crow on the road that followed me around a bunch, but when I tried to get closer to it, it flew away.
Should have shot it.
I was thinking about that, but yeah, it took off pretty quickly, so...
I'm actually of the same mind as them.
Yeah.
Because...
keep an eye out for crows in the future.
Crows and ravens in general are usually... Like, yes, there's plenty of them that are normal birds, but there are plenty others that are active servants of either spellcasters or especially very nasty deities.
Oh, like Rockjack.
No, Rockjack is
What?
not
No, like a servant of... Never mind.
yeah.
Bad.
I guess kind of.
According to Volo, but I didn't create the role of gnolls in my world. I created it before Volo came out, so I don't.
He's the
my gnolls don't work that way.
He's the servant of Masson currently.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Are you calling me an evil daddy?
You certainly look like one. If some random commoner saw you.
Listen, I know where you sleep. It's right next to my tent.
But you can't hit for shit. I mean,
did someone say sleep?
Oh yeah.
No. I'll show you a safe.
Oh yeah. So actually, as we go, tonight is important too because we have another inscription.
I just realized I've been on mute this whole time.
Oh no! Yeah, I was wondering why you weren't saying anything.
I was saying that I'm pretty sure that the douchebag trio had a crow with them. I seem to believe that for some reason.
I'll be right
That
back.
would
I
have been
really
good
need
to
some
remember.
water.
But I don't remember. It
Um,
was all a blur.
it was all blur. You can roll insight to see if your character. Well, I mean, I'm wondering if that's really fair. If I could just tell you yes or no, because is it your character that doesn't remember, or is it you that doesn't remember?
Me specifically, I do not remember.
Okay, I mean, I think your character would probably remember. You don't remember them having a crow with them. I'll just say that.
I don't know why I said I feel like I remember seeing a crow at some point, but I guess I'm just crazy. I've seen so much garbage out here.
That's true.
It's okay. You just have taken a couple levels of madness.
Right?
Who's gone mad?
If you see that
Hey,
one thing again, you might.
Soon I will be a member of the great Yog-Sothoth.
Oh yeah, however that's pronounced. Whatever the hell that.
Or
Are you saying that in character, by the way?
what do you call it? Singulath. That's the name.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's the name of the singularity in Space Station 13.
Oh, I didn't know that.
People
Not
have named
familiar.
it Singulath because it's basically an elder god because it just annihilates the entire place.
Sounds like what a singularity might do. Like
Yes.
if you like black hole. Oh yes,
It's
okay.
yeah.
So Terry hands this around again in much better spirits, and Henri is also in better spirits, and so is Harrietta because Terry and Henri are not upset.
Good, otherwise I have to kick them all.
And this is the nice long translation, and this is what the
for lava.
so they get really complicated.
Okay.
So you can see it's much longer.
Oh boy.
It's a good thing you had that spell going on, Sorthyn. It might have taken a long time to translate that otherwise.
Most definitely, jeez.
Someone lost their pet rock, and now they don't want to live.
That's one spurious possibility.
So I don't feel it actually is, but you know.
I find it improbable.
Improbable.
But
Oh
not
yeah, so I better check my impossible.
Impossible.
Oh man. Good grief.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys can think. You want some minutes to think about this and discuss this, or talk with anyone about it? You can do that.
I did want to mention to just us, not to everybody, like not the researchers or anything. But thinking about what we were saying about Terry and Harrietta both thinking that they had been here before.
Mhm.
There was the bit in inscription number 3 about specifically the mind staying unbroken, or if that's possibly something about it.
Oh
You're
yeah.
And
saying,
maybe talking about what happened to them.
so what you're saying is that we should take their brains and meld them together, and then suddenly they'll become the avatar guardian of the site.
No.
Uh,
Their powers combined.
That we should soul meld them using ancient dark arcane practices.
I don't
Yeah,
suggest
but
doing any of this.
no, I don't.
Force is not on board.
Does my insight pick anything out from gut reactions from the gut?
Oh yeah,
Gutting
your
guts.
insight. In relation to inscription 4 specifically.
Yes.
Okay. So you're looking at inscription 4 compared to all the other ones, but and you're thinking on it, and it's you can't really just looking at it like this, you don't feel like you're getting much of an idea. It's very, very opaque to you. You don't feel like any insight you get would be better than a straight guess based on reordering the words or anything. So unfortunately, even looking at these, you haven't managed to quite get anything.
All right, here's what I think we should do. I think we should take the primary conceptual words in this phrase and look at them individually and see if there's what particular connections we can get between them. Lost, gone, stone, long, and live. Everything else is linking words, more or less.
Oh, that's not bad, Sorthyn.
That's... Huh. Yeah, that's...
So
that's the
essentially
thing.
write it down, otherwise it'll be lost.
Mm-hmm.
TLDR of that. That's what I pull from that.
I am Mepharishan. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair.
And guys, I gotta go to the bathroom. You can keep discussing. I'll be right back.
Discussing the ramblings of a mad DM. Curse this elder god. Man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I've had too much stuff going on today. My head's hurting. My head and eyes. Just from looking at this thing.
Yeah, I almost want to just like write out all the different combinations of rearranging the words and see if anything happens, if anything comes to me, but I don't know.
Okay. So what did you guys come up with any special insight?
Yeah, the elder
Nope.
gods are not kind.
Maybe it'll be the final inscription. That's like when you just figure out your puzzle you're working on. And suddenly, it all makes sense.
Perhaps. Well, there's 2 more left to go. The next one we'll get tomorrow if Sorthyn continues his strategy. Yeah. So now, so you guys are mulling that over, and everyone's having their little side conversations, and suddenly you hear over from this direction, right at the knoll, you hear a familiar voice of Rockcheck, and he yells out something to you that you don't quite hear at first. So you look over to him and you see he's smiling, and he says, "Friends, home, coming, Rockcheck, home, friends."
I grab my scythe and stand up.
Yeah, his ears are perked up. He seems to have heard something you all didn't hear.
I turn to the crew and the archaeologists and say in a very serious tone,
Time to party, guys.
A lot of you into the cave. Make no noise. We'll come for you.
And they faces drop, the smiles and side conversations all immediately stop. And Terry goes, "Oh no, what is it?" "Yes, you have to tell us what's going on."
Gnolls. We believe.
Oh dear. Well, attracted by your friend, I suppose.
Or just come looking for their previous raiding party that went missing.
Either way.
Fine. Henri draws one of his machetes and makes his way towards the cave along with everybody else. The dwarves look a little a little concerned, especially Ralcoon. Ralcoon specifically looks over at Sorthyn and gives you sort of a knowing look, Sorthyn.
Yep. I would just, nod towards the cave.
And he nods back in understanding and heads towards the cave with the rest of them. So at this point, you've had that conversation, and it's all silent. And Rockcheck seems to be listening. He's got that same sort of attentive listening stance that he had the other night when you heard that explosion, the gunpowder explosion.
I step over to Rockcheck and say, "Friends, where? What direction?"
"Hunt, friends, hunt." And he doesn't really indicate what direction. But as he says that, you hear a thudding, like again, heavy footfalls. It's reminding you quite a lot of the night where you actually met Rockcheck. And you hear, it's definitely very familiar sounds, and they seem to have just come into your earshot. But Rockcheck apparently could hear them a bit farther away. So you hear these heavy footfalls, followed by some other screeching, howling voices that you recognize as gnoll voices immediately. It's looking like a very familiar scene, but yeah, you can roll perception. So yeah, you hear them
so badly.
Right, everyone can roll perception for more information on this situation, or more information on the situation, perhaps.
Can I be trying to check which direction it's coming from?
Yes. Is that what you all want to figure out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Direction and approximately where they're heading, if possible.
Okay. So Sorthyn is the only one that can make all that out, and you get a very pinpoint idea that something is coming. Specifically, let's everyone zoom out the map so you can see the full thing. But it's basically coming straight up from the south, like this direction, somewhere along here. And as you listen for a minute, you're trying to discern whether it's coming closer, and you listen a little more, and you keep hearing it keeps getting consistently louder and louder and then you realize, like, okay, this sounds like it's coming directly at us at this point.
They're coming from the south, directly at us. Let's get behind some trees and ambush these fuckers.
I agree. I turn to our people, you guys, say, "The clearing south of the camp. Get along the trees just beyond the tents. Hide there and wait for them to cross into the clearing." Then I turn to Rockcheck, say, "You, silent."
And he looks at you like he's considering whether to say yes or no. And he just gives a little nod, and you look
at fire.
And he looks at your hand, and his eye. He doesn't seem to be quite as startled or scared as he was before. His eyes just narrow, and he says slowly and low, "Yeah."
Good.
Yeah.
And I yes, quiet. And I my hand still aflame for a few more seconds as I begin walking away, looking definitely in a battle stance now, moving with purpose.
Okay.
And I'm going to, where do I want to be? I want to be kind of in the middle, actually. I kind of be over here. And I'm recommending we all get into some kind of stealth.
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
hide here.
Be in this tree right there so I can still look back and see Rockcheck, because I don't trust that he's not going to get rescued.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Just kill him.
I mean,
Morris can say that. Yeah.
I am
and
not.
I will say that Gnoll should be dead.
Do you have a good shot of him from where you are?
I wonder if
he always has a good shot. He's a sharpshooter.
It's true. I ignore up to 3/4 cover. So
all right.
Unless someone is completely blocked from my sight.
Oh yeah, you can definitely get at him. So are you guys all set up in the way you want to be set up here?
I mean, as much as I'd like to be, my stealth roll is awful.
Right.
Okay.
Let me
Are you
set up a few
guys
things.
openly discussing shooting Rockjack?
All I said is that gnoll should be dead.
If he starts making any noise, feel free, but until then, I would not approve.
Sorthyn, how are you doing on spell slots?
I have one.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
I've
you can't
got-
just like sleep him.
Nope. I was
I mean, it only
considering.
lasts a few seconds anyway.
It lasts a
Wow,
minute.
right.
It lasts a minute, and then I would be down to cantrips.
I'm at full power.
Alright, cool.
Okay, so you can hear it slowly approaching. And I gotta put a bunch of things on the map now.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
A bunch of things.
Of course, now we're level 2. It's going to be double as many as last time.
Well, it could be.
Oh, you say double? I meant triple, as I put an ogre in
Well,
the
you just-
middle.
You're just making it worse for yourself. The higher you say, the more I'm gonna add.
In that case, I want to see 2 puppies and a kitty cat.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make it
All right.
3 puppies, motherfuckers. Okay.
So we're adding on a Rakshasa and a couple hellhounds.
Yeah.
I hear something
that's
flying. The wing beats of what is that? A dragon?
Oh, as it turns out, it's actually I don't know.
The ground shakes and a purple worm appears.
Terraskew.
A
Tarask.
Tarrasque.
Yeah, Terraskew.
Tarask.
What is this?
Terror.
Spanish?
Terrorskew.
Terror. Skewed terror.
Yeah.
Your favorite.
Nah, he's like, listen, guys, this is a template. I can fill this entire map, every 5-foot squares, a gnoll. And it's worse than a Tarask.
No, it'll be what are those stupid things called? The
Oozes
I'm
after you him a few times.
gonna have to look this up now. It's gonna bother me.
Swarms upon swarms of rats.
It'll be a worm that walks.
Before this
Carrion
all
crawler?
happens, I'm going to cast Mage Hand and keep it hovering over near Rock Shack.
Okay. Keep it hovering over there.
Yeah, since it's a cantrip and doesn't require concentration, I'll just do that.
I was about to say that is a cantrip, right?
Okay. Just doing that too for some reason.
Just in case I need to like clamp it over his mouth to stop him from yelling.
Oh, that's a good idea. All right, let's hope we're not too busy in the throes of combat. Okay, so yeah, you're hearing these sounds approaching closer and closer, and as it gets clearer, you're hearing definitely this one set of very heavy footfalls, and maybe it sounds like some grunting, and then you hear the sounds of gnolls, obviously, coming right behind it, and it's getting louder and louder. And Mastin, you rolled a stealth check. Did everyone else roll stealth checks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh.
I thought mine was
Ophelia
bad.
finds all the branches to step on.
Yeah.
She's actually waiting and gets so tense that she steps back slightly and slips and
Sneezes.
brings the entire bush down on her head.
Okay, one last thing I want to look up. Okay, so as it gets closer, you suddenly see you hear sounds like splashing through water, so you can guess that whatever it is still coming this way, and it's reached the river or something. And then just like a giant hulking form bursts out of the trees and stumbles over the wheelbarrow here. And what do you see but this thing? This thing stumbles over the cart there. You can see that, right?
Yep.
The giant hulking form of an ogre, and it's you see it has 2 javelins poking out one out of its back and one out of the side of its stomach, and it's holding this huge club and waving it wildly at nothing in particular. And it's
Is it
running
supposed to be
straight.
5 feet? Because I thought they were large. I'm like, that's a really small ogre.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, let me see exactly how big they are. I think
They're definitely large creatures.
Yeah, they're. I mean, no, they're large. They take up. Are they really this big?
Yeah, large
Yeah.
creatures
Would be
are
that big.
2x2 squares.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So he's running haphazardly right this way, but and then he gets to about here, and I don't know how you guys react to this. You have a few seconds because he's running at full speed and just howling and screaming, and you notice just behind him. At this point, you're just seeing a couple things emerge from out of the woods.
Well,
I'm gonna take the immovable rod and set it up in the clearing between me and Masson at about ogre ankle length or height.
Shin height. Ogre shin height.
Yeah.
I'd assume I see this happening, right?
I'm not stealthy, so yes, probably.
Yeah. I just realized I don't have any rope, but I have my scythe. And I'm kind of strong, so I hook my scythe around the immovable rod, like crouching down and like holding it as hard as I can and just bracing in for the impact.
I'm not so sure you would need to.
Just in case. I don't know. Yeah, I'm hooking around so the blade is hooking to face away from the ogre, so a lot of the direction force just hits the rod.
So, all right, so you do that. You have enough time to do that really quickly. And the ogre, you see his beady little eyes actually lock right on you, Ophelia, as he sees you do that. But he doesn't seem to comprehend what you're doing. He just looks at you as he goes to run right past it. And of course, it's just this little rod, but he runs into it at full tilt, and you hear like a cracking sound, like a rib or something. And it's just like, comically, like the legs fly out and the arms fly forward, and like it, you hear that loud cracking sound, and it just falls straight back. And it's been completely stopped here, and it sort of just sits on the ground, like stunned for a second.
Wait, it didn't fall forward onto his face?
Well, how high did you have it, or how low?
We had it like
I was saying
height.
like ankle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then
Yeah,
he would fall forward right next to you.
Even
So
better.
you have a giant hulking ogre that he's laying down, wincing in pain. Of course, he already got 2 javelins in him, and the way he fell down, his face is looking directly at you, Ophelia, and his head is about as big as your body.
Yeah.
So you had this giant beady eyes looking at you, and there's just pure animal fury. Meanwhile, these gnolls are moving up, and they see stop. So they come to a stop, and they realize that they at least see Ophelia, and they see Ophelia and Masson. They don't see Sorthyn and Morris right yet. So they sort of come to a cautious stop, and you guys can roll initiative.
It's about to say, when are we figuring out who can do what when?
Right, exactly.
Because this is about to get really complicated.
This is about a bunch of shit's about to go down. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta re-click my token because it's being all meh.
And I get advantage, so there we go.
I keep rolling so bad. Oh, I'm a medic. It's okay.
Oh my god, someone's actually going before me.
Oh wow, yeah, you get advantage too. Damn. All right, so the guys marked with the guys with the arrow in his backs. They're guys holding javelins, or spears rather, or throwing javelins or spears, whatever. All right, now I got to track initiative. My brain
Just more
broke
work
for a second.
yourself.
I know. I know. I'm giving myself all this work. Well, actually, is there some way to do this that's not a pain in the ass?
I mean, there is the
There's an initiative tracker.
turn order.
Yeah, there is. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Oh,
usually
it
you just
automatically.
usually it'll just grab ours automatically.
No, wait a second. descending. Okay, and now I can roll initiative like this. He's gonna go last. Okay, we'll just give one initiative to the gnolls because, and then we'll give one to the. Okay, perfect. Okay, so, can you guys see the initiative, or can only I see that?
Yep.
Oh, you guys can see. Okay, so obviously Ophelia will be going first, Morris, then the Ogre, Sorthyn, Masson, then the gnolls. Yeah. So Masson and Ophelia are in a good position to get in some hits on that Ogre, but when it stands up, it's going to be a little upset.
Yep.
It's on the ground right now.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take a swing at him.
Okay. And you get advantage because he's prone. Okay. So yeah, you'll hit him pretty easily. You get a good stick in, and you poke him, but it's like poking a needle into a giant, mound of flesh. It doesn't seem to do a whole hell of a lot. I mean, definitely damage him, and he just makes a little grunt. And he's still looking at you.
Poking a needle into a rhino.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that ain't gonna work.
Is it possible this tree that I'm by, is it possible to move behind it so that the gnolls have a harder time hitting me?
Yes. Yeah, you can jump out, like poke the ogre, and then get behind the tree to have cover.
Yeah, and he can't attack of opportunity, right? Because he's prone.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still within 5 feet of him, so you
that's true.
Exited his threat.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna get behind the trees so that the gnolls have a harder time if they're gonna throw stuff at me.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
I mean, I may as well risk it, right?
Risk it for the biscuit.
You gotta go big, right?
I like how it took us one session to find a cool use for the immovable rod.
It's so useful.
It's already proven its worth.
Take a shot at this javelin gnoll right here.
Okay.
And then I will, because my rolls are broken.
Oh no.
Because it doesn't. It's not. I'm not able to include my ranged weapon proficient or whatever it's called. My range.
The +10.
My fighting style. My archery.
Oh yeah, that's which is +2 to damage.
To hit.
Oh, to hit. Okay.
So I will take the -5 +2. So it's only
Okay,
-3.
-3 with advantage.
With advantage.
Actually, I believe you can on the core page. Under the bonuses and penalties, you could put a +2 for the attack rolls under range.
Oh, is there a thing there? Ah, so there is. Okay.
You've been doing this by hand this whole time.
But there isn't a way to include my damage. But that's fine. I can roll the damage by itself.
Okay, so you +3. Oh yeah, because
right.
So it'd be -3, and you'd be +6 normally.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah, so you hit him. You loose a good arrow, and you
for damage.
hit him square in the face. 16. All right, so that's a good solid hit. He's not down, but he takes it, right in the chest, and he staggers back and growls like, it hit him so solidly he stumbled backwards, and he looks like he's in pretty rough shape. Okay, now the first thing this ogre is gonna want to do,
probably get up.
Yeah. I want to make sure there's no special thing I'm forgetting for standing up.
It just is half your movement speed.
Oh, okay, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of the stuff I only need to do like once or twice before I get it, but I need to do it once.
There's no attack of opportunity, right? Because that was 3.5. There definitely is.
No, there's no attack of opportunity.
No. Oh, okay. It's about to say free hits for everyone.
Yeah, right.
That would actually be a legitimate problem in 3.5. Anyone goes prone, they're as good as dead.
Yeah, because everyone gets a bunch of free hits. So yeah, the So the ogre is gonna stand up, stagger to his feet. He's got blood like running all down him, like those two really solid javelin hits, and then now he's got another poke in his side, and he's just in a complete rage, and he's still fixated on Ophelia, so he's going to go and attack you first. He's going to take a wild swing at you, and you have cover. Would that be like half cover?
Cover doesn't affect melee strikes.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, because you can just reach around it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm saying it more for just to help my memory than anything. So he's going to swing that giant club right at you, Ophelia. So,
Yay.
see, yeah. Okay, so he rolls a 16. Does that hit
17. Nope.
you? Okay, so you managed to. You're very nimble, and of course, you dodge out of the way of his wild, injured swing.
The tree behind you, however, is now a stump.
No, it just hits the ground and makes like a small crater in it.
The bush next to you does not no longer exist.
The grass has been ruined. Okay. So you can go now.
I am going to... cast Frostbite on the other guy, this guy.
Oh, that guy? All right. You have the 60 feet. All right, yeah, you got the range for it.
Yeah,
So
flesh bright. What?
That's a save. And okay, so he will not make the con save, so your spell hits him to good effect. You see his fur chill with this blue aura around him, and he sort of stumbles a little bit and takes that damage, and he'll have disadvantage on his attack. And I'll remember that with a thing. So that was successful. Masson, it's on to you now.
I see this giant hulking thing before me and decide it should no longer exist. I'm going to hit it with guiding bolt if I can find it. There you are. Big yellowy flash of sunlight goodness.
Hit it with some Sunny D.
Yeah. 14 to AC.
Full on Sunny D. So you try to blast him with this guiding bolt, and the ogre takes the hit full on almost, but he manages to sort of resist it. Like he raises his club and blocks it partially, and it doesn't quite get through. It's like he's got this very natural tough hide. Is
there a size modifier, by the way, included in that?
There's some things that are like implicit. Like if something is huge and tough, they might give it extra AC for natural armor or something. But there's no like, oh, if you're large, you get these bonuses and inherently.
Oh, okay, because that's also a thing and very prevalent in 3.5.
Right. The ogre has some very tough natural armor. It's very tough, so it manages to unfortunately resist this spell, and it doesn't take damage from it.
Alrighty. I'm also going to 5-foot steps a thing, right?
Or you can
use your action to disengage.
Yeah, and just move as far or up to or half of your speed away.
No, disengage just makes it so that you do not provoke opportunity attacks.
And that's
yes, have the action.
Yeah, can you do that as a movement?
No.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'm just going to. Am I behind a tree right now in relation to the?
Yeah, the way you are, you could position yourself behind the trunk, sort of, or yeah. In position to what? Like the ogre's like right next to you.
To the gnolls.
From the gnolls.
Oh yeah, you have cover from the gnolls if they try to range attack you.
I thought of every single other like low-level infantry type creature in D&D. I'm like, orcs no, goblins no, bugbears no. Gnolls, it's a freaking gnolls.
It's those damn gnolls.
Yeah. Okay.
Does the turn order thing, does that advance on its own, or do you have to? Is there like a?
Do you have to click? Do I have to click it? Or no, I have to click a thing. Oh, I see.
Yeah, there's a way you can do it.
I went.
Now we're on the gnolls. So this gnoll who took that arrow right in his chest, it's still sticking out of him. He sort of staggers to the side, and he moves over here to lean up next to a tree. But the other gnolls, they rush up, or that's going to move 1, 2. I can. He's going to move. This gnoll is going to rush up right to the ogre, and the other gnoll is going to rush up to help him.
Yeah, everyone hit the ogre. Totally don't look at us at all.
Yeah, they seem to be completely fixated on the ogre. Like they're not sure what to do. Those two run up to get it. These guys look like they're sizing up Masson and Ophelia, and the one with the javelin he hesitates for a second whether to attack the ogre or whether to attack Masson, and eventually he decides on he feels like you're probably the bigger threat, so he steps up a little bit halfway to the ogre, but then he decides to throw his javelin at you, and you're behind cover, so I guess he has disadvantage. Yeah. So I'm
it's not if it's half cover,
yeah,
or 3/4 cover. It's just an AC bonus.
Oh, well, he's not going to hit anyway. He has disadvantage from his frostbite anyway.
Right.
So yeah, he chunks it just into a branch. It goes wide. He seems to be a little still staggered from that cantrip that hit him. And this one is going to take his friend's lead and run up here to the tree and make an attack on you. And he's gonna attack, and he makes a wild swing with the sword that he's got, and he tries to swing it around the tree, but he just goes wild and misses you completely, and growls in anger afterwards, of course. Okay, so and the gnolls also have to attack the ogre. These guys want to attack the ogre. Oh, this guy's gonna get a crit.
Oh.
Yay! They missed us and crit on our enemies. Awesome. See, I told you, gnolls were great. They're absolutely awesome.
You say that till you're staring down a gnoll cannon.
And I can't speak to these guys very well.
And this guy's gonna attack. And he's gonna hit him too. And the ogre is screaming out in confusion right now.
It's hit with so many strange things all at once.
I know. Okay, so Ophelia.
All right. I'm gonna attack the ogre again.
All right. And he's flanked, so you get advantage. Thanks to both Masson and
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
Full damage. Beautiful. So yeah. And you're shocked at how many. Oh god, I got the hiccups. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. As suddenly reality, for some reason, is pulsating as time goes by. Every 20 seconds or so is a ripple through space and time.
Yeah.
Okay. I just hold my breath for 30 seconds and that fixes it.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
How is the ogre looking?
Oh yeah, so you're just shocked at how many hits that you would think at first would be lethal. This thing is taking, and it does not seem to be hardly affected at all. I mean, it's definitely taking damage, and like I said, it's covered in blood running down it. But it's still
common knowledge. Ogres have many layers.
That's right. They're like onions. So this onion is he's taking damage, but he's resisting it pretty well.
Still looking pretty healthy.
All right. Yeah. He's looking like he could get at least a few more swings in before he goes down from this.
I will wait here.
Okay.
That's my turn.
And then we'll advance. It's Morris' turn.
All right. Oh, hold on. This.
I would give advice, but I should not give advice.
Yeah, let Morris make his decisions.
I'm gonna back off a bit.
Coward! No, I'm joking.
Pop over closer to Sorthyn,
Okay.
and then I will.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, pal. How's it going? I will pop a shot.
Pop a squat? What?
Pop a shot.
Oh, sorry.
I like to think Sorthyn replies with, cool. Real cool.
just do a slop squat next to him.
Your hand's still
I'm
raining a little
gonna
frost.
fire at this one that's threatening Masson.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's see if it auto includes my attack rolls now. Hey, it does.
Oh yeah, and that is a resounding hit. Yeah, it does. It's not like a solid straight on hit, but it obviously does some nasty bruising when it gets partially embedded in that armor of his, and probably pierces the skin a little bit. So he cries out in pain, and you can tell he definitely got to. Whoops. I put in -83 instead of -8.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it's
He
like
gets turned into a cloud of red paste. Yeah, this many before. Okay, so
Suddenly, his atoms fall apart as the chemical bonds holding them together disappears from the force of the impact.
Utterly disintegrated. This ogre is mad at everything around him. Essentially, he looks like he wants to go for Ophelia, but then he just sort of wildly changes his mind mid-swing. Like he's not thinking clearly, and he goes for Masson this time.
Of course he does.
16 and has to beat 17, right?
No, me, it's 16.
Oh, how many hit points do you have, buddy?
I have 18.
Okay, you're gonna take 15 damage.
Okay.
So you just
fun time.
Completely. You can describe how you take that hit if you like.
I probably try to dodge, but it ends up like hitting me squarely in the, not squarely, but it like hits me in the chest as I'm trying to like back off, and it sends me like sprawling to my seat. And yeah, I'm looking in a lot of pain. My hood's even thrown back, and my face is all contorted. As you probably heard a couple cracks.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. All right, so that was the ogre's turn. Sorthyn.
I'm going to keep with the freezing people on the javelin guy that I hit last time.
Oh, on this guy?
Yeah, the guy with the little red dot.
Okay. So he'll roll his save. And so it hits him again squarely, and he shivers, and obviously he can't shake it off. So he's still under the cold effects of that spell. It's going to do some more damage to him.
And I'm going to back up towards Rock Shack.
Okay. Next will be Masson.
Okay. I am going to... I'm apparently not very pleased with the situation. Let's see. I'm going to healing word myself, which is a bonus action. As you can see on the chart.
Oh, you healed exactly the amount you took.
Well done.
Wow. I'm not sure where that one extra point came from, but I'll take it.
+7?
Oh,
does it add your wisdom modifier to it or something?
Adds wisdom, and then since he's a life cleric, it adds 2 plus the spell's level, which is 1. So it's
that makes sense.
7
it works out.
Plus,
So it's
I don't
the
know. You know what? I'll just take it.
totally the max amount. So cool. So you're back. Those ribs just they fuse back together, and you instantly feel like you just woke up from refreshed from a decent rest and a nice piping cup of tea or whatever. So you feel like you're doing pretty good.
And with that,
Yep. So you did your bonus action.
which I need to at some point look at my macros for my healing spells because I don't think I have them set up right. But that is, yeah, it's 4 plus 7 plus something. I don't know. I'll figure it out later.
4 plus 7 plus wisdom plus 2. So I think. Well, in any event.
I'll figure it out later. Anyway, I heal myself and then cast Guiding Bolt on the Ogre again, which I don't think hits again.
No, it's the same thing. It seems to shrug it off with almost no effect. It takes the brunt of it, shoots that spectral green directly at the ogre, and it sort of hits him directly, bounces off, but it seems like it just can't quite get a full effect through its thick hide. So
keep rolling really bad damage too. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. So now it is. Oh, I closed my initiative tracker. Now it's the gnolls' turns. So these guys, this fellow over here is still leaning up against the tree, panting. He's in some horrible pain. The gnolls are going to just keep focusing on this ogre. So this one's going to attack, and he's going to hit the ogre with a glancing blow because the ogre is flailing around. He doesn't quite hit him head on. He sort of does a little bit of damage on the side. And this one is going to strike him with his sword, but he can't quite get through the ogre's tough hide, so he doesn't do any damage to it. So a little bit of damage from the gnolls. And this gnoll, meanwhile, is still focusing on attacking you, Masson. So he's going to make an attack. And he's going to take a good swing at you, but it's again, it's going to miss. Just the absolute chaos of combat. He swings wild again and misses you completely.
I'll roll terribly.
Yeah, not a good roll.
Yeah, I was about to say, if they come close, they could hit me, but it glances off armor, etc., because I'm wearing chainmail.
Mm-hmm. So this gnoll notices he's got a couple javelins on his back. So this gnoll notices that Morris has moved over there, and that catches his eye. And he missed last time, so he decides that it's a good idea to try something different. So he targets Morris this time, and the spear he throws it, but it gets caught in a tree on its way to you and doesn't even reach you. So it just
amateur.
Thunk. Yeah, he's totally an amateur. And he's got you notice he's got 2 javelins left on his pack until he has to go collect some or pull out a sword that he has at his belt. So just that information. Now, Ophelia, it's your turn again.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna swing at the ogre again.
Okay.
Do I still have advantage from flanking?
Yes, you do. Nice. Max damage, too.
I don't suppose mine would have gotten advantage. The guiding bolts and stuff. That's ranged, technically.
That's ranged, yeah. I don't think you get advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
Yeah, just thought I'd double check.
I'm gonna
like point blank. Anyway,
rotate around him a bit to get closer to Masson too. Just
okay.
Yeah.
That's
all
a good
right,
idea.
that's it.
Okay, so yeah, that one hit seemed to have sort of struck something within the ogre. Maybe you hit a major organ or something, or maybe it's finally wearing him down. He's been flailing wildly and screaming incomprehensibly this whole time, but now so it seems like he's slowing down, like he's panting, and his swing has become slower and even more wild. And so that's what he's looking like right now. Morris, it's your turn.
All right. I will first because I remembered I actually have other things I can do now.
Yeah.
I will cast Hail of Thorns.
Oh, you get spells?
I
It's
do.
second
I have
level?
spells.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the Underdark Arcana Ranger. All right, cool. Hail of Thorns, man.
So my arrow becomes covered in thorns, and I will take a shot at this gnoll here.
Okay. Oh, yeah, so you get to good area of effect. You hit
Mm,
everyone that's right next to
and
him.
then I will.
Everyone has to
Yeah.
make a save.
Right, unless I miss. So let's see how
Okay.
this goes.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so you attack this gnoll here.
I did.
Okay. Oh, when it hits the creatures. Okay, so
So I have it active until I hit something.
okay, I got you. So yeah, your arrow goes a little wide and it just barely misses him by flings right past him. But he doesn't even notice, of course. He's focusing on the giant ogre.
Right.
Um
And then
Sharpshooter, huh? Nah.
I will back up a little bit further.
mhm. So Ophelia, you were the last one to move in the ogre's field of vision, so his attention turns to you again, and he makes a big, slow, lumbering swing at you with his giant club. And he is going to hit you soundly, actually. He clips you right on the side, and you're going to take 13 damage.
Oof. Okay.
You still up?
Yeah, I've got 5 left.
Okay.
I think we have the same amount of HP.
Yes, you probably do. All right, so Ophelia takes that hit. I don't know how Ophelia is doing right now. Are you just still in the fight? You feeling good?
Yeah, I've got 5 health.
Okay, good. So Sorthyn?
I'm still scared of that ogre, so I'm just gonna frostbite that one guy again.
Okay. This poor vessel.
You just like freeze.
You can reach him? Oh yeah, plenty of time, yeah. Okay, so yeah, he's got a save. Yeah. And he doesn't save. He so you hit him again, you just death by 1,000 cuts over here. Almost subtracted 54 from him.
Plus that 83, don't forget.
Yeah, exactly. The 80. But yeah, so again, it's the same effects of the spell. He just keeps getting hit over and over with this, and he's looking confused and scared by this spell. Like he doesn't know what the hell's going on.
He keeps swinging at me, then he misses, then he feels really cold and doesn't know why.
Well, no, this is the guy swinging at this. He's taking the javelin guy, right?
Yeah, the javelin guy.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So anyway, Masson, it's your go now.
So I'm gonna decide, you know what? Maybe Ophelia's got the right idea with this ogre. I'm gonna take a melee swing at him. Also turns out statistically it's my best bet at doing anything, really.
Especially with your advantage.
Well, yeah, then technically I have a better chance of doing higher amounts of damage than with my next best spell, yeah.
All right, so you hit that ogre, and you must have got just the perfect angle or something, because you clip it right along the belly with your scythe, and it just like butter happens to slip through that armor, and you cut his gut right open, and you see entrails spill out, and that pretty much ends the ogre right there. You finally
There we go again. Every time I give
him.
up on my spells and go for my scythe, I killed a really large creature. This is the second time in a row that's happened.
So at this point, it just makes him and it slowly falls over, and
it's so gross.
It smells.
It is right next to camp.
It is right next to camp.
You're gonna have to burn.
You're gonna
all
have
this.
to dig through that to get your immovable rod back.
No, we just burn it all.
It's falling right on top of the immovable rod. Actually, it's like, and the immovable rod is like sitting like 2 feet off the ground. It's literally inside the ogre's guts right now, like inside its cut open stomach. So we'll see how you guys handle that.
Uh-huh.
But the ogre is
I
down.
can clean it once we get it out.
And at this point, so this gnoll is still just focusing on you, Mass, and he's getting angrier and angrier. That you're not even trying to fight back to him. He's not really paying attention to anything. He's just got this full-on bloodlust going on. So
Didn't even notice I just killed an ogre.
I know. Like he must have noticed, but so he takes a swing at you this time, and like he takes a split second before to line up the swing where you're not noticing. And this time he hits you clean, and you take 4 damage.
Of course, now with the ogre dead, I'm like turning around. Excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. Even though you're probably about to fuck him up.
This knows about to die.
This guy's gonna give it a shot and throw another javelin over there at Morris. And again, this one just goes completely wide and it gets stuck in another tree. I mean, you got a lot of trees around you, but
He's too cold to throw.
he's definitely
shivering a
he's
bit.
shivering. He's got like little icicles building on the tips of his fur and stuff. So, okay. Next is on these gnolls, actually. Now the ogre's fallen, they're actually going to jump up on top of the ogre corpse
Do
and
they
rush
trip
over
on the
to.
immovable rod that's in there?
Trip on
in
the
my
No,
mess.
So they stand up on top of the giant ogre corpse and hop over to target. One targets Mass and the other targets Ophelia. So.
I do my whirlwind scythe attack.
Okay, and he misses. The one attacking Masson misses you. And the one attacking Ophelia gets a clean hit on you, Ophelia.
Uh-oh.
And how much HP do you have left?
5.
5? You're going to take 6 damage.
Oh,
So
no.
you take a big gash along your side or something. The gnoll knocks you down. So you guys better come up and help those. Help your friends.
Oh, God, I'm in innards.
No, you're not. It's not necessarily fatal. Don't worry. So you can act, but you're down. So you try to make a save,
Yes.
which is saving. Okay. So you do not make that save, and you just bleed out for 1 more hit point, right?
No, you get 3 failed death saves before you die.
Oh, and you just
Right.
But I'm pretty sure you go down in HP anyway.
No.
Well, no, you're in
happens first.
0.
Yeah.
5.
Negatives is just 0. The only time that matters is if you die from massive damage. You take.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, right. I'm thinking other stuff. Right. Move along.
All right,
Continue as you
Morris.
were. You're probably noticing right now I have 4 gnolls around me.
Well, see, the thing is, my spell's still active, so I can't shoot any of them without it exploding and possibly killing you guys.
You could shoot one of the
Give me a
2
good
javelin
berry.
guys.
I could go give you a good berry. Let me see.
Good berry. Hey, you got good berries.
I do have good berries.
That would be better than my option because my option leaves me without being able to attack.
Yeah, I have
But it
good
does
berries.
work.
They're the best berries. I have a lot of people.
When we get back to
Customer
town, we're
reviews
opening
are
up
very
that
high.
shack.
Alright, so let me see, what's the well, it's gonna take me an action to create the berries. And then I would run over to Ophelia, and then I wouldn't be able to give them to her.
Oh yeah.
All right, then shoot someone. She
Yeah.
probably
I
more
will.
damage than I would.
I mean, I think you can run over and medicine check too, but I'm not sure what the rules are on that exactly.
See, I
Yeah, you
can.
can stabilize
You're
it.
at full health, right, Masson?
He's down
I'm not, but
4.
I got a lot. I got a decent bit of health. How much How much damage does the Hail of Thorns do?
1d10.
1d10, and it's half damage if I make the dex. Yeah, just shoot the one. Shoot the one next to me. It's hitting me.
Well, I'm wondering.
Isn't that gonna
Yeah.
hit me too?
No.
No.
He's
Five.
talking about this one.
Oh
This
yeah.
one's
Okay.
this one I already shot and he's already hurt. All the ones that I can shoot are hurt, except for this one. I could shoot this one.
You could shoot the ground in between them, maybe. I'm not sure if
Can
that
I?
would work.
Can we rule that I can shoot the ground?
If you want to position it exactly.
I mean, if you want to hit the ogre here and it hits these two.
Right, like because the specific wording is that when it hits a target,
Hits
is
a
when it'll
creature.
explode.
Yeah, it's a creature.
Yeah,
So
so-
you
Yeah,
can't hit the ground.
Well, if you're shooting here and hit the ogre, you're hitting a creature. It's just a recently deceased
It's just a
creature.
dead creature.
Oh, I'd accept that. That seems like it's in the
All right. I
purview
will.
of the spell. So
Perform this ridiculous shot.
Just right over my shoulder as I'm turning towards the gnoll. It goes
Mhm.
into like the was that the freeze, not the freeze, the slow mo bullet
Yeah,
time.
the Matrix bullet time.
Yeah,
All right, and that's a hell
Wow.
of a shot.
that
So
Nice.
the
Yeah.
dead body takes 11, and then they have to take a DC 12.
Okay.
DC 12 reflex save, or
Yeah.
take 6 or half on a successful save.
Okay, and neither of them makes the save, so they're going to take 6 damage.
that's
And
impressive.
they're-
That fail.
Some good tactics right there.
Explosion of razor sharp thorns hit them in the back.
Yeah, and they're horrified and terrified. Like, where did that come from? They actually turn around to look behind them, see if there's something else attacking them, and they don't really know what's going on. So next, well, the ogre is dead, so we can just take him out of there. So Sorthyn can go next. That was a pretty, that was a
think the
pretty
gnolls-
advanced strategic move.
I'm gonna run right up to them, screaming bloody murder, and frostbite the guy right next to Masson and Ophelia.
Oh yeah, what happened to the far javelin thrower?
I guess he must have left or ran away.
Oh, great.
I sure hope he doesn't go get a cannon.
I'm gonna come
Just
back
rolls
last
up with
year.
a literal cannon on
As
wheels.
he probably has like maybe 1 or 2 health as he limps off.
Yeah, well, once you
He
get
took
over,
a hard hit.
if
He
you
did
wouldn't,
take a very hard hit.
yeah, maybe you can go track him. All right, so use frostbite on which one? Sorry, this guy.
Yeah, the one in between all three of us.
Okay, so he doesn't make it. I have this macro that rolls saves for a creature at once. I'm getting like, every time you like have to roll reflex, I'll get like strength 18, reflex 2, con like 17, int 19, and shit like that. So you guys have been getting lucky with this. But I'm also rooting for you guys not to die as well. So
That's fortunate.
Okay,
Yeah.
we don't have one of those DMs where it's like, how can I kill them?
Oh, good God, no.
Those DMs
So he
are
takes
fun
that damage and
sometimes,
takes. So this guy's not going to have disadvantage anymore. But this fella, disadvantage. Oops. So he gets hit with that spell. Now it's Masson's turn.
Okay, so I'm turning around to hit the guy that just hit me, and then I hear Ophelia squeak, I guess. Not to sound like,
Gurgle.
but
Gurgle, yeah.
Gurgle.
gurgle. I'm like, I know that sound. And I just realized my, I'm not even looking at those anyway. I'm gonna flip back around, and I'm gonna hit Ophelia.
Punch her while she's
Wow.
Why'd you get hit? Kick.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit her
Thanks.
with my
Run.
scythe.
Hey.
To do spare the dying.
Oh,
Which,
I see.
which she no longer has to roll death rolls. She's just stabilized but unconscious.
Okay.
And that is my action, because unfortunately that's a full action. I was really hoping for bonus action on that one, but was not the case.
It seems not, no. Okay, so next.
Also, if I find that that's necromancy to do that. Maybe it's the controlling of death is the point. I don't know.
So so now it's the gnolls' turn. And it's going to so this gnoll here notices that Ophelia's gone down, so he sort of doesn't pay any attention to her anymore, even though you sort of healed her. He doesn't really understand what you did, and she's unconscious anyway, so he doesn't see her as a threat. So instead, he's going to move himself over by the camp and go up to attack Sorthyn from behind here. So he's going to roll. And he takes a wild swing and a miss.
Nice.
He misses
All
you.
right.
I was actually kind of hoping he hits you, because then my next turn I could do something really cool that would help us a lot, but it wasn't to be, I guess.
What's your AC, Sorthyn?
I'm looking for that. I can't find it.
Course,
Should be on your main
core.
page.
Armor, there it is. 12.
Okay, yes, it doesn't hit you, thankfully.
Or, unfortunately, depending on how things go all around.
This gnoll is going to swing at you, Masson.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got disadvantage, so he misses you. The other gnoll is going to...
The gnolls disappeared off the turn order because you
Oh,
removed the token that you
because
rolled for.
that must have been the one the one I selected when I... Okay. Well, I can see
Well, we
him.
know
He's
they
still
go
there.
last, so it's
Right.
fine.
Yep. So Masson, the one next to you takes a swing at you and clips you just barely to the side, and you take 3 damage.
Oh, I take 3 damage? Okay.
Yep.
My master plan is slowly coming into effect. I have tricks up my sleeve. Many beautiful things. Hit me again.
Ophelia, you're unconscious. Morris?
I'll shoot this one.
Alrighty.
Just a regular old attack.
Ooh, nice. So yeah, you hit him.
This is what I see when I try something fancy. I can't do anything. I need to just stick to the basics.
Well, the basics are boring though. That's what sucks about it. But yeah, so you hit him solidly, and he takes one right to the chest, like that other guy before him, and he stumbles back and growls like he's surprised by the severity of that hit. Now, technically, I'm just for role play purposes, moving him back, whatever. But anyway, so yeah, he's really hurt, and he doesn't look like he's in much mood to fight anymore. Suddenly, when he took that nasty hit. So next.
Oh, I just realized.
And is Sorthyn, do you have to go soon, or do you? What's
I have not yet received a call, so I don't need to leave yet.
Okay, well, we'll just keep going until either 10 o'clock or you get a call.
Okay.
All right. So you have your turn now, Sorthyn.
I just realized my master plan is actually going to work much better than I thought it would, because I misremembered how it worked. But
good.
Sorry.
The guy that hit Masson, was it the guy at disadvantage or the guy down here?
The guy on the other side of the tree. Did you take damage, Masson? I didn't see you took that.
Yeah. No, I haven't been updating that. I've been updating the one in my sheet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm probably just going to empty those out so I can stop confusing you and myself.
Okay. Yeah, this was the one that hit him.
Okay. All right. Well, I actually have a different idea. I am going to charge up Shocking Grasp and try to touch the guy that's in between all of us, standing on the dead ogre.
Okay. So, yeah, you'll hit him.
All right, so he takes 5 lightning damage.
Yep.
And then I'm going to run over to here.
Step over Ophelia's bleeding form.
Yep.
Gurgle, gurgle.
Still gurgling as it happens.
You're like, and to the guy in the camp, you're like, hit me! Hit me!
Oh boy. He's freaked out by that. Like he stumbles back and what the hell's this thing? Let me zoom in more. What is this thing he's standing on? Looks like a rock.
A rock.
And a box next to him, like a lockbox. So he sort of steps back and stumbles over that a little bit, and his sword goes a little more slack in his hands, like he's considering whether to actually follow through with it and actually hit you. So, Masson, your turn.
Sorthyn, have you taken any damage?
Nope.
Perfect. Okay. So, I gotta look at my house again. As if that gnoll was hesitant enough already, I'm going to slam my scythe into the ground, and this entire forest is going to be bombarded with the light of multiple suns as I use Preserve Life. And Ophelia is going to take 7 HP healing, and I'm going to get 3.
Hooray.
Oh, okay.
And it just got real bright in here.
Thank you.
Pulled HP 5 times, Masson's cleric level.
Yeah. So we all pull from a...
Well, isn't your max HP 18? Oh, 5 times your level. Oh, sorry. So 10, yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, no, she would get all 10 because I can't do it above half, and I'm above half already, so she gets up to 10, but whatever half is, which I guess if it's 9, and she said 9.
Yeah, it'd be 9.
Okay, then you get 9 HP. Actually, Morse, do you take any damage yet?
I haven't been so much as sneezed at. He couldn't get that thing through the tree branches.
Okay, you get 9 HP, and 1 HP just fizzles off into the brightness that is this forest for a split second.
So how much temp HP did you get?
It's not temps. It's a heal, right?
Yeah, it's heal.
So only Ophelia can get the healing since she.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She got 9
the one
HP.
has to leave because you took a hit, right? You can't get healed from it.
Yeah, I can only heal people up to half their HP with that.
Oh, I see. So you're not
spell.
below half. So okay.
Yeah, it's
Ophelia's
a last.
the only one it can affect.
Yeah, it's a last resort type spell that comes from my life domain.
Okay.
And that's what it's meant to is that things are getting really bad. But I see this as it's not really gonna go that sour again, especially if Ophelia's up. So screw it. But I mean, it recharges after a long rest. So
okay.
I take a nap tomorrow.
Yeah, I was saving my good stuff for the gnolls. So yeah.
Yeah, Ophelia. So you'll be feeling better suddenly, and you'll come to, clutching your rapier and feeling not great, but better than you were.
Hopefully they just don't kill me again right here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this gnoll feels like he looks this gnoll here. So it's the gnoll's turn. He thinks he might be backed into a corner looking at the camp, and beyond it he sees the cave. So he's not. He thinks there might be nowhere to go. So out of desperation, he takes a wild swing at Sorthyn, and he'll attack here. And he's going to hit you for 5 damage.
Are you ironically below half health now?
Nope.
Okay, just start check.
That'd be pretty funny.
You could gain that last HP point.
So this guy here is going to go ahead and not advantage anymore. He's going to attack. Oops. And he's going to miss you, Masson. That one misses you. The other guy's going to attack. 15 hits you?
15 does not hit me.
Okay. So yeah, he's going to miss you. And this javelin fella, he's going to throw finally his last javelin. And he's gonna try and he's still trying to hit you, Morris, just completely ineffectually. 16? Does 16 hit you?
Does 16 hit me? Probably. Let me see here.
Come on, wait.
Yes. Is that including any sort of cover?
What's your AC?
My AC is 15.
Oh, okay, so if you're behind soft cover, the tree or the quarters cover, whatever that.
Right.
So
that'd be a
it gives you
+2.
+2 to AC. Yeah, so that actually, it like thuds into the branch like right in front of your face, like stops right in front of you, barely, because that would have been full damage if it hit you.
Yeah. You're staying there with the bow, and there's this branch. It's been like right in front of your mouth this whole time, and now suddenly there's a javelin sticking out of it.
Like it thwacks back a little bit and taps you across the mouth or something from the force of it. Like Jesus Christ. So that's the gnolls' turn. Things are
You think
looking
you're
good
having
for
a
our
bad
heroes,
day?
thankfully.
We're getting stabbed and slashed and smashed.
So
Alrighty.
Ophelia, you now have an action. You're up and raring to go, or maybe you're ready to, depending on. Ophelia's a brave warrior, I thought. Need some revenge, yeah.
Are we flanking the one that's on the ogre? Or do I need to be on the other side of it?
You need to be on the exact opposite side.
Alright. I'm just gonna attack from here.
Okay.
Nat 1, you throw your sword. Told you should have moved.
Oh, so you're still not quite steady on your feet, and you lunge for him, but he manages to easily dodge out of the way.
Okay, well, bonus action going to second wind.
Okay. So yeah, you're up to
And
full
that'll
health
bring me
now.
back to full.
Yeah, so it's like nothing happened at all.
And then I'm gonna action surge.
Oh my god, okay. Spend it all.
Fighters, man.
I'm gonna attack the damn gnoll again.
Okay. Go for it.
God damn it.
It's a reciprocal roll.
8, 9.
Oh yeah, you're right. You got the reciprocal. Wasn't that something? All right.
Oh
Well.
well, I'm at full health again. I did something.
Okay, Morris.
You made
After
sure I
that scary
didn't waste
experience.
my...
At least you know now that that guy. You can see clearly the guy doesn't have any more spears. So unless he runs up to you and tries to grab one, he's gonna have to use that short sword he has.
I see. And he's...
Or any javelins, rather.
Well, I'm going to move.
All right.
I'll run a bit deeper into the forest till I'm convinced I'm plenty outside of his range. And
I'm liking to think there's this like ferocious melee with the three of us fighting over here, and then off to the side is this weird like predator jungle like hunt
just
going
arrows
on.
come flying out of the woods.
Just like a firefight of arrows and javelins and running through the woods and taking cover and rolling by beneath logs.
It's like a second battle going on.
So they're all pretty wounded.
Yes.
Right? Like this one had been frozen a bunch. I shot him really good. He got exploded and shocked. This one's stabbed, and so they're all really hurt.
Yes. If you want to get some more close information, you can make like a perception.
Nah,
I'll tell
fine.
you.
I'll just shoot
Okay.
this guy. He's
All
been
right.
pissing me off with his
All right, go
spears.
ahead. Let's see if you get him. And you do hit him. It's not quite a solid hit. It sort of cuts a nice gash through his side and a gap from his armor. But it looks like he's pretty worn down by now. He's taken a couple hits at this point, and he's still shivering a little bit from the after effects of that spell he kept getting hit with. So he looks like he might be ready to drop. You're not sure what he's going to do next, though. Sorthyn, your turn.
Still yelling at the guy, not realizing that Ophelia's up.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna yell at the guy in the camp and be like, "Freeze, damn it!"
Freeze, literally. All right, so you're going to attack him? Use Frostbite.
Yeah, Frostbite.
I was like, yeah.
I like to think you sounded as like crackled up.
Panicked.
Yeah.
And so the spell hits him, but it seems to fade away, and he can just barely shake it off. So it doesn't quite do the full effect to him, or any effect really.
Any effect.
Yeah, it's a cantrip, so you don't get half or anything.
Yep. And I'm going to
Masson?
pull a dagger out as a free action. So I now have my staff and my dagger.
Alright, after having birthed a son into life and it disappearing, I'm gonna take that scythe and smash this one with it. Well, not really smash it. I'm gonna try to embed it in his chest.
Alright, go ahead.
It's nice.
Alright, you hit him.
For
It's
minimum
not quite
damage.
the resounding hit you were expecting, though. You just barely catch him with it. So there's a little bit of damage. Death by 1,000 cuts, though, may be soon coming into play.
Dude, he has been hit by so many low damage things, it's insane.
Yeah, both of them have.
Oh,
All right, Gnoll turn. So this guy's going to attack you back. He seems pretty emboldened by the fact that that spell didn't work, so he's like, maybe I have a chance. So he rolls, and he's going to do 4 damage to you.
I am going to react to that. And, whoops, wrong spell levels. I gain 5 AC. Did he beat a 17 AC?
No, he doesn't. So he swipes at you, and it's just, a couple inches from striking you, maybe across the cheek or something, but then this ephemeral shimmering force appears just from your reacted spell, and it clangs resoundingly off it, and his arm goes flying back. So it does manage to block it. And that lasts till the start of the next turn. Good. This Gnoll's still focusing on Masson. And he'll hit you for 5 damage. And this one will also attack you.
yeah, boy.
And he's gonna miss.
Hey.
Now this fella, he goes and reaches for a javelin and realizes he's just been throwing them wildly, and he's lost all of them. He doesn't have any left, so he actually goes. He draws a short sword and goes charging up towards where you are, Morris, so he can make it.
I was waiting for it. And charges at Masson.
No. So he's gonna take a run action. He's gonna move up to you, but he can't attack on this turn.
Okay.
So, yeah. He's right in your face, and when he gets closer, you see his just like blood coming from his mouth, blood from wounds dripping down all on the side of him, and he's just this horrific sight when he gets up to you, and he looks completely full of bloodlust. All right, Ophelia, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna. If I move to the place below Sorthyn, I'm trying to ping, but it's not working. Would that get an attack of opportunity from the northernmost one?
Yes, it would.
I think so. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Oh well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, you're full health.
I've also got my racial, which I can give it disadvantage, right?
Oh, is that true? Do you have that?
I believe so.
I'll check for you, or if you can check faster.
Nimble dodge. When you're attacked by an attack of opportunity, you may use your reaction to impose disadvantage on that attack.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, because
It's
really
actually
you're
worded
small.
kind of weird. Huh. But yeah, I mean, it's the homebrew stuff, so...
Yeah. No, that's actually, that makes sense. I don't think that's too powerful because you have to use your reaction, and
You're a little mouse person.
yeah, you can only do it
That makes
once
sense.
because it's a reaction. So
Right.
Well,
Okay.
once per round anyway.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So he takes a swing at you, but you're just too small and nimble, and he goes way over your.
Hey.
In fact,
And now I'm going to
actually,
attack this guy with advantage, right?
Yes, that's right.
So maybe I'll hit this time.
I'd hope so. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Stick him right in the back, and he goes down to one knee, and he seems to be severely injured. Like he can barely hold his sword up at this point after he takes that hit. Now, Morris, you have a gnoll staring you in the face with a menacing
I'm looking
short sword.
for drawing weapons.
It's a free action.
Is it?
Yep,
Yeah.
you can interact with one object on your person for free each round.
Okay. So
Remember, technically speaking, bows are held in your left hand if you're right-handed. Just saying.
Yeah, so you have a hand to do it with, and hang on to your bow if you want.
It doesn't really matter. I was gonna draw my short swords.
Okay. Oh, both of them? You dual wield?
I have two of them. Yeah.
Dual wield.
One of the more stupid concepts in fantasy melee.
Yeah, there's historical reference to it, so you know what? I'll let it
Rarely.
go. Yes, really. So I'll sort of.
Oh no, I said rarely, but yeah.
Oh.
Like yes, it exists, just very rare because it's really, really hard.
So yeah, I'll sort of, as he's running up to me, I'll sort of toss the bow aside and pull out my short swords right as he gets up to me.
All right.
And I will make my attack on him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's short sword 1 in my main hand.
Yep. And then you don't apply the
I don't apply the
modifier for the second one.
Modifier damage for the second hand.
Yep. Okay, so the first one misses, but the second one hits, and so he's all ready to fight you. First attack he dodges, but he's not quite slow enough for the second attack, and you just stick him solidly, and you must have hit something major because he immediately just keels over and drops to the ground. But right before you probably hit him like in the heart or something.
You know, made a slash and then just stabbed him in the side.
Yeah, exactly. He's feeling good about himself that he reacted to the first one, but he was not ready for the second one. Drops like a sack of potatoes. Sorthyn, your turn.
I am going to put away my quarterstaff and make 2 stab attacks at the guy that is north of me.
Okay. Oh, you can make 2 stabs with the
I draw a second dagger, yeah. I guess I should have said that. So 21 to hit for my first one, and then 13 to hit for my second one, so that misses. I would assume.
Okay, the first one hits him, the second one doesn't, so he'll take a little bit of damage. You give him a little slash across the side, and he's just, again, covered in wounds at this point, battled, worn down, he's panting heavily. So he's not looking good. But he's still on his feet for sure. Masson, your turn.
So I had come down with my scythe to nick the one to the southwest of me, and I see my peripheral Ophelia moving. So I spin around and hit the one to or southeast of me. Hit the one to my west with that scythe that now has advantage, which will be a crit.
Oh yeah.
So I'm assuming
Rest in peace, Gnoll.
Yeah.
I just swing around and take his head off.
Yeah.
Is my assumption.
He's not even ready to react to it. He's still reeling from Ophelia, sticking him from behind, and then he doesn't even react when he sees it coming, and you lop his head clean off, and he flumps to the ground on top of the stinky, putrid corpse of the
This lump of dead flesh, it's just getting worse by the minute.
Yeah.
And it's about that time I'm realizing Maybe I should have been a fighter. Getting more kills off my scythe than my spells.
We'll add thing here. Dude is dead. Dead like Elvis.
Elvis
All
is
right.
dead.
Spare me your conspiracy theories.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead like Tupac.
He's in a retirement home with Black JFK fighting a mummy.
Wait a second, is that a reference to that? What the fuck is that movie called?
It was called Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep. Yeah, I
It
know
was
that
a Bruce
because.
Campbell movie.
Yep, I remember that actually. Obviously not too well because I forgot the name, but
As my respect for all of you begins to dive. No, I'm joking.
what's wrong? No, the dude's
It's great.
the director did John Dies at the End.
Yeah.
Did that movie, which I half liked, but was a little disappointed by.
The book was so good.
Yeah, I know. They had to cut a lot of stuff, and then the CGI. They didn't have the budget for CGI at the end. It looked really bad. But Sorthyn, this guy is completely. He can hardly hold his sword anymore. So he takes a half-hearted swing at you, and just it literally bounces off your armor because he can't muster up the. Or do you have armor on? You have armor on, right? Or some sort of.
I have
added
travel
clothing.
clothes on.
Oh, okay. So never mind. It doesn't bounce off your armor at all.
travel clothes.
It bounces off the cloth of your clothes. Oh, that seems a little dumb. But,
No, that
yeah,
that totally happens if your ankle is really bad.
I suppose
So-
so. Yeah, so it like
yeah.
comes to rest against the thickest part of your cloth on your shirt, and just like, oh, this poor guy, he's dead.
As someone that uses actual swords, like as a hobby thing, you'd be surprised how hard it is to go through heavy clothing if you're not using this. If you're not like swinging just so.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
It's really surprising how resistant it is.
Speaking of, this guy's gonna attack, and he's gonna hit you for 5, Masson. He's gonna hit you again. He's poking
He's
at
so
you.
pissed that you've just been ignoring him this whole time.
I know, you've barely done anything.
I gave him a nick and then I went away again.
How much health do you have, Masson?
I'm at 1. I'm looking pretty bad, but
Oh yeah,
I'm
you've been
like
taking a lot of
really.
hits.
I'm looking like about to keel over and so pumped up and aggressive right now at the same time.
All right.
It's probably pretty terrifying. Especially after I took that
Ophelia?
guy's head off.
Oh yeah, you
Alright.
just complete blood rush, bloodlust, or whatever.
I'm gonna hop over to there. I think I can get to there.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though the ogre is probably difficult terrain or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. And then attack the gnoll.
With advantage.
Just come up from behind and
Oh, you don't hit him.
miss.
You get stuck on the heavy leather that he's got cobbled together for armor, so it doesn't quite manage to get through it.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, back in the Battle of the Bulge, it was actually an issue with the M1A1 carbines being a lower caliber round for a rifle, that the German heavy winter clothing actually stopped quite a few carbine rounds because of how low caliber they were,
Oh yeah.
and it really ticked the paratroopers off.
That's messed up. Yeah. All right, Morris, your turn. Think about
I'll pick my bow up.
that Hugo Boss though. That's probably what it was.
Yeah,
It's high quality.
It was just way too
Hugo Boss bulletproof winter clothing.
too fashionable.
Yeah.
I will pick up my bow and drop my swords. I can clean up later.
Yeah.
And assuming I have an action left.
Yep.
Okay, then I will fire at this guy here. I keep closing my sheet, and I need to stop. No.
Oh, you fire and that glances off his leather armor. Does not hit him.
Madness.
It is
I have
madness.
killed so many things this fight, and now you guys gonna let me die because you can't hit.
I know you got fucking +8 to hit.
I've
I
been
do have a
killing people.
+8 to hit.
I have killed things. I have healed you guys. I've resurrected you.
Don't let Masson go
Trying,
down for
damn
long. Sorthyn.
I am going to be stabbing away at the guy in front of me. And miss. And then stab away again. And miss. And then I'm going to run around to behind him.
Okay.
It's a
Masson.
comedy of errors now.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to, hey, well, I have advantage. So that's great. I'm going to keep slicing. Like, you know what? Got my attention again. You sure you want it? 14. Does that hit?
Oops. No.
Ah, you kidding me? I should have hit him with my spell.
15. It's
He would have had to
15.
meet a dex save. Meh. All right. Maybe I'll miss. Maybe I'll get lucky.
Okay. Next is the Gnoll's turn. So this guy's gonna up here make another half-hearted swing at you, Sorthyn.
They're just
And
like
he,
flailing against each other.
yeah, and he
Let's go.
misses you by a mile.
Oh, he did. I would have thought it really funny if he had crit 1, thrown in a random direction, misses me, and it hits the gnoll in front of me. And that's what saves me.
And what's your AC again, Masson?
Mine is 16.
Okay, so this one is gonna come very close to striking you, but it manages to. But instead, it just clinks right off your chain. So, thankfully, it stops it and saves you. So it doesn't hit you, but it maybe
Ophelia,
bruises
you can do
a
it.
rib or something.
Ready to try again.
It's a hard-fought battle. There you
Ah.
go.
The ogre went down so easily.
Yeah, well, he had the gnolls fighting it at the same time. You guys sort of helped the gnolls out too, but
Well, I'd
yeah.
rather.
Well, the ogre could have killed any of you in one lucky roll too. So
Yeah, we had to
Yeah.
get it done first.
a very dangerous situation. But yeah, so you stick this gnoll right in the middle of the back, and finally you shink it right through, and it throws its arms out in pain and surprise, and just slowly collapses to the ground and twitching maybe a little bit. So he's dead.
Okay.
Finally.
Okay. I will spend another of my oh so precious arrows.
I know. Well, you'll collect maybe most of these.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And fire at this last one over here.
All right.
Right through
What's the
these
range on
slits.
your bow?
Incredibly far. I ignore range penalties with my bow.
Oh, you really built this guy,
that
didn't
was
you?
a good. Well, he just took the sharpshooter feat, which gives
The
him 3
sharpshooter,
really good
yeah.
things.
So attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage. My ranged attacks ignore 1/2 and 3/4 cover. And before I make the attack, I can take a -5 and get +10 damage.
Carry
I
on.
I am one heck of a sharpshooter.
Well,
Which makes sense. That you're out there.
There's
Yeah,
a good
enough.
attack roll.
Yeah. So
Wow.
sort of then you're standing there, sort of sizing up this
slashing
guy.
away.
Yeah, sizing up this guy, and you're not sure how he's even still going, because again, he's bloody and scarred everywhere, cuts and blood, and he's growling, and a drip of blood coming down from between his huge fangs, and he's sort of stumbling there, like he doesn't know, he's not steady on his feet. Then suddenly this arrow whistling out of nowhere comes and cracks him right in the side of the head, and he collapses to the side, finally going down in a heap, and he's dead.
Thanks, I'm not good with daggers.
All right then.
I just realized the ogre and gnoll picture on top of each other
It looks like
looks
it's
pretty
his head.
good.
Oh, yeah.
I
is a
would
hybrid
totally
gnoll.
believe that.
The Gnollgre? The Gnollgre, yeah. We'll fight a few Gnollgres next time, probably.
Great.
Oh, no.
All right, guys. So we'll figure out what to do with this mass of corpses next time.
Jesus.
In my bloodied rage, I just started like sacred flaming it, just a flamethrower in my hands, like Skyrim style. Just,
All right.
and I'm just like getting all the rest of my adrenaline out.
Ophelia's going to the river to wash all the guts off of her.
It's a good idea.
And probably about the time that I my adrenaline runs out, I just collapse onto the ground, just passed out.
All right, guys.
I don't know what your guys'
Well,
problem is.
that'll
I didn't take any damage.
Yeah,
I have
Morph is doing
so-
fine.
I have so much blood from so many different species on me. You can't even tell which blood is mine and which isn't.
All right.
So
Good
you
night,
guys
you guys.
definitely earned your pay on
Thank
that
you
one.
all.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll see you next time. Should be the regular time. We'll
Sounds good.
pick up here again. Talk to you next week, guys. See ya.
Adios.
Catch y'all later.